And now we are moments away from the kickoff. The athletes and coaches sit in the locker room waiting. Some say this is only a game, but today it's not. It's more. It's a culmination of hundreds of hours of hard work. Both teams have prepared. Both stand ready. Both knew in their hearts it would come down to this game. Michigan versus Ohio State. Two great football powers. Two teams rich in football tradition. Two states with fierce competitive pride. Emotion will be a factor today. The clock is running out. Only one team will walk off this field and go on to the Rose Bowl. Only one. Today from Ohio Stadium, Columbus, Ohio, ABC Sports presents the Wolverines of Michigan against the Ohio State Buckeyes in the Big Ten Showdown for the Rose Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by the folks at Chevrolet, who invite you to come on in to your Chevy dealers coast to coast for a look at an all-star lineup of cars. By Lowenbrau. When you want the taste of a truly great beer, there's really only one. Tonight, let it be Lowenbrau. And by Sears Die-Hard Battery, with extra starting power to start your car when most batteries won't. I'm Chris Schenkel, and this is Ara Parsegian. We've come down now all the preparation era, and since you know both coaches so well, we've got to come up with the keys to victory.
Well, let me say this, the pressure is definitely on the Ohio State defense. Historically, these have been defensive battles and low scoring. And I think for the fans to watch is to see which club, which coach, which team has prepared best their goal line attack. From the 20-yard line in, from the 10-yard line in. The team that has done the best job will be the winner in this afternoon.
Okay, Ara. We feel the tension up here. Bill Fleming on the field, I know, is enveloped by the excitement here at Ohio Stadium. So let's join him.
All right, thank you very much, Chris. You know, there is one aspect of this game that I think we ought to touch on just for a moment, and that is the fact that Michigan can win or tie and still go to the Rose Bowl. However, if they tie, they might lose the conference championship to Michigan State if it beats Iowa today, because Michigan State is not eligible to go to the Rose Bowl. So the question might very well come up. If Michigan is trailing 14-13, a chance to go for one or two, would Bo Schembechler go for two, with a chance of perhaps losing the conference championship and winding up in fourth place, or would he go for the tie and go to the Rose Bowl? He's always said before he would go for the conference championship. We'll see what happens today, but right now, let's go out to the flip of the coin at the center of the field. Otto Kortz is our referee today. The co-captains are there. Let's listen in.
Now, my crew, Chet DeStefano, Eddie Marisich, Don Mason, Larry Nemmers, and Rich Weiler. All right, guys. Standard coin. You will call it in the air. If I drop it, we'll start again. Call it. He called tails. He got it. You've won the toss. All right, you're going to receive what end you defend. If you step around there, careful my cord. The toss is won here. We'll receive. All right, guys, let's have a good one. We'll do all we can.
As you saw in the white jerseys, Russell Davis, 33, Jerry Meter, 46. They have won the toss. They elect to receive. Vogler, Springs, Cousineau, and Cato were the Ohio State captains. We'll be back for the kickoff.
This is one of the most advanced motor cars ever built, and it's equipped with one of the most advanced car stereos ever built. It's by Craig. Who else? A power play cassette system, AM/FM road-rated receiver with digital station readout that becomes an electronic digital clock when the radio is off. And it's designed to fit virtually anything you can drive. The DeLorean sports car is not available yet, but the Craig stereo is. Just see your Craig dealer. Who else?
Hey, come here. Take a look at this. See? Wow. The new McCulloch chainsaws. This is the new Power Mac 320. Look at these teeth. They can sharpen themselves with a press of this button. Wow. And see this? Is that a tail? No, it's a handle mounted to soak up vibration. What's this? McCulloch's chain brake handguard for safety. That's smart. No other saw at any price has all those features. Yeah, but it doesn't have much personality. And you do?
The new McCulloch Power Mac 320 in the yellow pages under saws.
The carpet here at Ohio Stadium yesterday was soaked from earlier rain. We have no sunshine. It's gray overhead, 40 degrees as we look at the receiving team, the Michigan Wolverines, 9-1 overall, 6-1 in the Big Ten. Ohio State is 6-1 in the Big Ten. There you look at Bo versus Woody over the years. The former pupil has won 4, and the professor has won 4, and they have tied and only won. If the game is tied today, Ara Parsegian, it'll be Michigan going to the Rose Bowl. But if Ohio State wins, they will go.
Chris, all I can say is I'm glad I don't have to make that decision, I guess, but it's one of those very interesting things you hope doesn't happen, that there is a final winner here.
Number 22, Ralph Clayton, a junior from Detroit, and Tony Jackson on the far side, a freshman from Cleveland, will receive Bob Atha's kick. Bob Atha from Worthington, Ohio. Ohio State in the scarlet and gray. Michigan in maize, blue, and white, and that's Tony Jackson out to the 10-15. And number 5 of Ohio State, Jim Laughlin, made the stop as we look now at the starting backfield for the Wolverines, triggered by this great All-American. Heisman Trophy candidate, a freshman starting. Woolfolk, a speedster, he can fly. Russell Davis, the veteran at fullback, a good one. And here we have Ralph Clayton, the wingback from Detroit. And don't forget Rodney Feaster, the sophomore wide receiver. Leach brings his team out to the 20.5, 1st and 10. Very first snap of the football game. 75th meeting is underway. About a 5-yard gain by senior Russell Davis, number 33. Blocking up front for Davis and his backfield teammates, Bill Dufik is starting today, the senior from East Grand Rapids. Greg Bartnick, a senior from Detroit. Steve Nada from Morristown, Pennsylvania. John Powers from Oak Park, Illinois. John Giesler from Woodville, Ohio. Gene Johnson from Flint, Michigan, the tight end. We'll have a second tight end, and boy, remember that number. Number 80, Doug Marsh of Akron, Ohio. Now it's a second down and 5 for the Wolverines in white. No score, second play. And there is the freshman from Westfield, New Jersey, number 24. And the scarlet and gray defense will be tested today. The tackle was made by Al Washington, number 15. And here are the men up front. Henson, Sullivan, and Cato.
Take a look at Byron Cato. He's an outstanding player. And also Kelton Dantzler, who Woody is really high on. Cousino was an All-American. These are the football players who are going to be instrumental in this ball game this afternoon.
And now we have a third down at about 3. 2 tight ends, Marsh and Johnson for the Michigan Wolverines. Rick Leach, number 7, from the wishbone formation. Big third down. It's very, very close to the forward stake on the far side of the field, the east side, here at Ohio Stadium in Columbus. Rick Leach took it outside as Cousino, number 36 on the Scarlet, followed him on the play.
Number 1 tackler on this football team, really an outstanding player. Runs sideline to sideline, meets people right on the nose. Here he is flowing with the wishbone threat, comes all the way across, avoiding his own men, and gets in on the tackle on Leach, who kept the ball.
And on that third down and play, the resourceful, talented, poised Rick Leach picks up the Michigan 1st and 10. The snap now will come from the 30.5 era.
Chris, one of the things that is important here, Schembechler, Bo was talking to him during the week. You wonder where Harlan Huckabee, their leading ground gainer, along with Roosevelt Smith, his backup, they're both injured. They'll see very limited action today.
Slot to the near side. Feaster and Clayton. Leach keeps it on the ground. There you see the 9.5 speed of the freshman, Harold Woolfolk, filling in for Harlan Huckabee, and Butch brings the ball out across the 40 for another first down.
This is some kind of football player. Bo was talking about him. He said he had to start him. He says he has all kinds of speed. He's a big, strong back, 6'1", 205. He says he's liable to go all the way, or he's liable to cough it up, but he's got a lot of confidence.
All right, Clayton now comes to the slot on the near side. Outside is Rodney Feaster on a 1st and 10 from their own 44. Davis carries from Woodridge, Virginia. And a good defensive move there by Mark Sullivan, the middle guard, one of the 2 Sullivans on the Ohio State roster. And today Woody Hayes dressed 110 football players. Bo Schembechler, traveling squad, 54.
Well, that's the traveling restriction in the Big Ten. Incidentally, Steve Nada, the offensive center for the Michigan Wolverines, is a very fine player, and Mark Sullivan jumped right around him and made the play.
All right, the Wolverines now with a 2nd down and 9 are moving into a variable southwesterly wind at between 10 and 15 knots. Going outside was Woolfolk. Bob Murphy. Underneath, number 28 for the Ohio State defense. And I'm looking for a marker.
No, I think appeared what happened that time, Chris, was the ball was snapped early by Steve Notta. Nobody was moving. He missed the snap count, and of course, Leach just turned around, threw the ball off, and pitched it to Woolfolk, and it was no one was offside.
All right, Otho Courts from Oakland, Illinois, is the referee. When he's not doing this in NCAA college football, he's a cattle salesman. Well, there's a lot of beef out there today now, as we have a 3rd down and 8 from the 46. Michigan with the ball, no score. Leach's first pass from the port side. Gets away. A loss of 2 yards. Kelton Densler, only 208 pounds, pinches in to throw the loss at a 44. It's 4th down and 10 era.
Well, that's the best pass defense in the world. They put a lot of pressure on Rick Leach. He managed to escape what would have been about a 10-yard loss. Got it up near the line of scrimmage, and they're forced into a punting situation, the first of the afternoon.
Michigan's talented kicker, Greg Wilner of Miami, Florida.
Looks like they're coming after it, Chris. They got everybody up there, 10 of them.
10 of them in the scarlet jerseys. Wilner gets it away very calmly. Mike Guess. It takes an Ohio State bounce, and the Buckeyes will get the ball across their own 25. Art Schleister is the freshman quarterback from Bloomingburg, Ohio. Ron Springs from Williamsburg, Virginia. Paul Campbell of Ravenna. Also in the backfield for Ohio State, Doug Donnelly. He's the flanker. Ron Gerald. Remember him? He quarterbacked this Ohio State team for 2 years, but a great flanker. So it's 1st and 10 for the freshman, Art Schleister. The snap comes from their own 26. A good second effort on the part of the Wolverines. Schleister, there you see him, number 10. As we look at the men up front, Ferguson of Miami, number 65. There's Fritz, 56 of Ironton, Ohio.
This is a very fine football player. Number 52, Tim Vogler. He's a good one. Savoca, another fine player. Ernie Andrea is the guy that brings in the plays. There's Joe Robinson, a big offensive tackle. Here we go.
2nd and 5, and this time the freshman Schleister hands off to Rick Volley of Lynchburg, Virginia, a junior, number 22 in the lineup, and Curtis Greer of Detroit, number 95, a senior, makes the stop at the 34, so it's going to be a 3rd down now and 2.
You take a look at Keitz, K-E-I-T-Z there. Now, he is really, Michigan Coach Schembechler is really high on him. Also, Jerry Meter. Watch him this afternoon, number 42.
All right, on a 3rd down to the Bucks. Rick Volley, 1st down, Ohio State.
Every play thus far has been option football for Schleister. That time they operated out of the veer type of set. He came down the line, faked the ball to Rick Volley, or rather gave the ball to Rick Volley, and he picked up the 1st down. He was reading the defensive lineman.
Ohio State has the ball at its own 40. Going in motion to the far side of the field is Donnelly, the freshman, 18 years old. Schleister completes the pass for a 4-yard gain to Ron Springs, number 23, who immediately went to the carpet. Ron Simpkins was there to make sure. So with a 4-yard gain, it's going to be a 2nd down and 6 for number 10. Art Schleister, 1977 State of Ohio High School Football Player of the Year. He has great credentials. A lot of pressure on him today. Ron Springs on a 2nd and 6. Moved out near midfield. Andy Canavino of Cleveland, Ohio, number 41. And there we look at 65-year-old Woody Hayes and his staff. Fired up like his team.
There's a lot of speculation yesterday, Chris, whether or not Ron Springs could play in this ball game, but certainly in this opening drive, it's very apparent that he has healed from the injuries that he had.
And now the first-year quarterback, as a freshman, has his 2nd 3rd down conversion attempt. From the 48, 3rd down and 2. They successfully get it. Rick Volley, the 2nd time now that he has gone for the Ohio State 1st down, and now the Buckeyes are in Wolverine territory at the 48 of Michigan.
short yardage situation. Schleister just comes right back and gives the ball to Volley, and he gets plenty of daylight and makes the first down without any difficulty.
If you just joined us, there's no score in the ball game. We have 8 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Michigan had the ball. They were forced to punt. Ohio State took it from their own 26. They're now at the Michigan 48. And Volley not as successful on the previous handoffs from Schleister. Gene Bell, number 42, call him the Wolfman, was in on the stop. And let's see where the referee and the headlinesman spot the ball at the Michigan 46. So it's going to be 2nd down and 8 in a fast-moving first quarter era.
Yes, very reminiscent of the film that we saw of the Indiana game last week with Ohio State. Ohio State took that ball and drove right down the field, very much like they are right here.
Donnelly that went in motion. And the pitch goes outside to Springs. Springs goes deeper. And another Ohio State first down. Michael Harden, number 4, and the Scarp fan. There's Springs, number 23, coming back to the Ohio State huddle. He's from a family of 6, the leading ground gainer last year.
Exceptionally well executed option. They got leverage on the corner. Schleister deals the ball off to Springs. You see no one there. You see 47 Doug Donnelly in the screen on the option. They got good yardage.
I can't wait to see Schleister's first pass. Springs gets the call on the pitch. Nice outside to the far side. Ron Simpkins, a junior, number 40, and Jerry Meter, the co-captain from Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, make the stop. Michigan on the far side of the field with their coach Bo Schembechler. Ohio State on the west side in this horseshoe-shaped stadium where we have over 88,000 fans, the 63rd straight sellout. All right, with the ball at the 36 now. It's a 2nd down and 8. There's no score. 7:34 remaining in the first quarter. Rod Gerald is set away to the near side. Here's Schleister. Couldn't throw. Ron Simpkins in on a 6'3" farm boy from Bloomingburg, Ohio.
Got outside the leverage that time, and you just can't allow a good runner like that to get outside your contained man. You see Schleister comes to the field, sprints out, and once he gets outside the contain, he's got a lot of running daylight. Sees no one open and keeps it.
Now, Era, in this drive, the third down conversion. They've been successful twice. They need a yard. They're at the 29 of Michigan. First down, Ohio State. Paul Campbell in the lineup, getting it this time. Paul Campbell, a major in interior design and communications from Ravenna, Ohio, and Woody Hayes looks on. And now with a first down, the Bucks have gone to the Wolverine 26. No score, 6:37 remaining in the first quarter. Ball possession by Ohio State. Making a handoff and then keeping Art Schleister, diagnosed beautifully by Jerry Meter. With the ball inside the 25, let's call it the 23. It's going to be a 2nd down and 7. And the Ohio State marching band, they'll be performing at halftime along with a magnificent Michigan band right here at Ohio Stadium in Columbus. It's a 2nd down and 7 for Ohio State at the Michigan 23. Donnelly in motion. Looked like Schleister was going to attempt his second pass of the ball game, but Needham, Ben Needham of Groveport, Ohio, and Mike Turgovac of Austintown, Ohio, stopped that.
Chris, we just saw the maturity of Schleister right there on that play. I believe in the opening 2 or 3 ball games, he would have thrown that ball into the crowd. He rolled out to the right in a pass attempt, found no one open, and ran the ball out of bounds, and at least they've got 3rd down instead of turning the ball over, which he did with 19 interceptions.
All right, a loss of 5, 3rd down and 12 now for the Michigan 28. And Rick Volley carries across the 20. They are short of the first down by about 4 yards. Brayman of Midland, Michigan, and Meter of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, make the stop, and the ball has been spotted at the 21. It's a 4th down and 5. It's kicking time. Bob Atha, number 1, a freshman from Worthington, Ohio, is 4 of 6 in the field goal department. This one, 38 yards in length. 10 yards of the end zone. The kick is long enough. It's up. No good. So Ohio State, that started the drive at their own 26, went to the 21 of Michigan, come up empty. No score with 4:58 remaining in the first quarter in the 75th minute between these two.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special. The beer will...
Oh, bro. What's all this?
Compliments of the gentleman at the bar, sir.
So tonight...
That is no gentleman. That's Tom Grant. Tom, I don't believe it.
What's it been, 5 years?
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrau.
Somebody's got to say it, you two. Here's to good friends.
All right.
Let us show you the lengths Texaco sometimes has to drill to find more energy. This is New York's World Trade Center. Imagine drilling the length of 15 World Trade Centers. 15 World Trade Centers. That's almost 4 miles. Well, that's how deep Texaco has to drill. 4 miles down at $1 million a mile to find more energy for you here in America. Texaco, working to keep your trust.
Next, Rose Bowl bound number 3, USC battles 8th-ranked Notre Dame, heading for the Cotton Bowl. The top-ranked clash, USC-Notre Dame, is next.
Following our game, the Prudential College scoreboard, and then Notre Dame versus Southern California as we look at Bo Schembechler. Number 3 ranked USC, Rose Bowl bound with Charles White. Notre Dame, 8th ranked, defending national champions. And now, on a missed 38-yard field goal, the Wolverines have the ball. And the snap came from the 21 because of a missed field goal, not the 20, a new college rule. So the Wolverines, Harold Woolfolk of Westfield, New Jersey, stopped by Al Washington, who forced him out of bounds. And the advance is out to the 27 area, and that goal line situation stopped the Scarlet and Gray.
Yes, it did. But, you know, also I want to mention the fact that Harlan Huckabee, the leading ground gainer for the Wolverines, is not in the ball game. His backup, Roosevelt Smith, both of them are injured, and they've got a freshman in there that is playing pretty well.
Two teams in the score. We don't have a score with 4:53 remaining in the first quarter. Michigan with the ball on a 2nd and 4, and the Buckeye defense are in on Woolfolk, the freshman, number 24. Mark Sullivan. Let's look at number 15. Cato was there. 15, Al Washington.
You know, they swing their defense. Cato is the open field tackle, and Luther Henson is the boundary side. Both teams use identical defenses, switching their personnel, trying to utilize their best skills and abilities, and that's why they have been so tenacious over the years defensively.
All right, Michigan is 1 for 2 in third down conversions. They now have a 3rd and 4 at their own 27. Rick Leach, number 7. And the delay did not get the first down. Russell Davis, the ball carrier. And we have to credit Bruce Cato, Tom Cousineau. So it's a punting situation for the Wolverines.
Look, Tom Cousineau was a good play on the part of Leach. He was trying to bait them into a pass to be used to draw. And everybody, including Cousineau, was in on that play. They smelled it.
Second punt now for the Wolverines. No score, 3:40 to go the first quarter. Greg Wilner kicked a 29-yarder earlier. The snap came from the 44. This time it's from their own block. Kick is high in the air, and it's taken by Mike Guest, number 12. And Guest is back in Michigan territory across the midfield stripe. Finn Needham of Groveport, Ohio, number 83, stopped number 12, Guest, as we'll take a break and then return.
Can I help you?
Baboon Burger.
Nice car. What is it?
Chevy Chevette, best-selling small car in America.
What do you have on it?
AM radio, console, reclining bucket seats, white striped tires. It's all standard on the 4-door Chevy Chevette. Even a hatchback.
Love it, but I don't need the hatchback.
How come?
I've already got a trunk.
Chevy Chevette. A lot of car for the money.
Look at all the features that come together only in the Minolta 110 Zoom SLR, all for less than you might think. A zoom lens, with close-up setting. Snap-in 110 cartridge loading. Through the lens, viewing and focusing. Automatic exposure for point, focus, shoot simplicity. Get it all together in the Minolta 110 Zoom SLR.
High school football is often the center of school spirit and even the focus of community interest. The National Federation of State High School Associations realizes this and thanks the thousands of coaches, officials, and administrators who make the programs possible. School activities are the other half of education.
For so many years, the powers of the Big Ten, Michigan and Ohio State, battling for a Rose Bowl berth. Following a Michigan punt, no score in the game, freshman Schleister from midfield, first down. Rick Volley. He's had a great game, delighting the Scarlet and Gray fans. 6 carries, 42 yards, and that was one that busted to the 29 of Michigan.
And Fritz and Ferguson really blocked them out, the left guard and left tackle of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Now from the 29 of Michigan, there's no score. Donnelly, 47 in motion. About 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Good balance by Rick Volley of Lynchburg, Virginia. Curtis Greer finally stopped number 23 in era. He is looking super today.
Ran the option that time very well. That Schleister is really handling the ball well. Watch him. He comes down the line, takes the ball to Volley. The defensive secondary reacts. He pitches it out with his left hand, and Ron Springs shakes the tackle, making number 15 miss, and picks up good yardage.
Here, I've got to take a 5-yard penalty. It wasn't Volley. It was Springs. All right. Oh, that videotape replay. All right, it's a first down for the Buckeyes. Donnelly in motion again. The deepest penetration, and the freshman Schleister knifes his way inside the 15 near the 10. No score. We have 2:48 left in the first quarter. The Wolverine defense was tested for 53 yards in the previous possession, and Ohio State tried a 38-yard field goal by Bob Appa. No good. It's still scoreless. Now 2:35.
Okay, this is where it gets tough, Chris. It's down there around the 13-yard line. Let's see what kind of goal line attack. Oh, they're in an unbalanced line.
It's second down and approximately 5. Donnelly again to the far side. And his feet went out from under him. Schleister and Simpkins was right there. You can see him standing over, number 40. And down at the bottom was number 95, Curtis Greer. So the ball is, well, back at the 14. We got almost a loss of a yard, so it brings up a third down and about 6, Sarah.
Yes, the Wolverines were aided by the surface that time. Schleister just slipped and fell, and of course it brings up a third down. There it is again.
Springs. Michigan's defense, you see number 595, Curtis Greer jumping on up and down because the defense stopped him short of the first down, as the line of scrimmage now will be approximately 13 with a 4th down and 5. Heights of Columbus, number 55, stop number 23 in red, Ron Springs. So now Appa is in again, Era, here in the first quarter, his second field goal attempt. The spot is a 19, plus the 10 of the end zone, a 29-yard try on an angle.
The sidewiner, it's always tough from the right hash mark.
Castagnola held, and it's good. Ohio State, the underdog, takes a 3-0 lead. After marching 37 yards, they had to kick one, and we have a minute 13 left in the first quarter.
You see the angle that he has there, but this one he gets in there over the right crossbar.
Half an hour, 1 for 2. We'll be back.
I shop at Sears. I'm here almost once a week at least. It's super. That's why I'm here. I bought my husband a trolley motor for his birthday, and we took it to Arkansas on our vacation, and it did not work. Hysterical. We took it back to the Sears in Arkansas, and they replaced our trolley motor immediately. So it was a happy vacation. That's why I shop at Sears.
Sears, 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 where America shops.
International Falls, Minnesota. A car sits on a frozen lake. Through January, February, and March. Then, in April,
It started thanks to a Die Hard. The Die Hard, sold only at Sears.
All right, now back deep for the Michigan Wolverines, number 22, veteran Ralph Clayton, a junior, and Tony Jackson, the freshman, to the far side, number 21. Bob Atha will kick here in the closing moments of the first quarter after successfully booting a 29-yard field goal to put Ohio State ahead 3-0. And we apologize to many folks on the ABC television network for intermittent audio. You know, we can get people to the moon, but we have trouble getting audio across the country. I can't believe it. Nevertheless, the kick out of bounds. We will bring it back and kick from the 35 as we go down to the field for a report from Bill Fleming.
You know, Chris, when Art Schleister came out of the ball game just before that field goal attempt, he had his head down a little bit, was a little disappointed he didn't take the team in. Woody patted him on the back and said, hey, listen, you're doing great. Just be patient. And they are doing great. That offensive line is moving the Michigan defense. Okay, back to you, Chris.
Thank you, Bill. So, Atha, number 1, will kick it this time from the hash marks on the far side of the field. Sort of a quartering win now from right to left. And he'll kick it from the 35, but that doesn't change the receivers as we look at number 22, Ralph Clayton of Detroit, a journalism major, a junior, 6'3", 211 pounds. And Tony Jackson, the freshman, is back there too. And this is Bob Atha, a freshman from Worthington, Ohio. 13 to go in the first quarter. Hanging in the air, the freshman. Jackson has it at the 10, 15. Clayton blocking. A good return of that kick era, bringing it out near the 30, where Jim Laughlin has made his second tackle on kick coverage.
Maybe interesting to see what Bo Schembechler does. The quarter will end in about a minute and 8 seconds, and he will pick up the wind. And there is a factor in the wind. It's coming out of the south-southwest, and he may go to the air once he gets the wind in the second quarter. Let's watch and see what happens.
Here on the banks of the Olentangy River in Columbus, Ohio, from the 30, Rick Leach, number 7, has Feaster in motion. Pitches back to Woolfolk, the freshman. Great lateral pursuit by Bruce Cato. Number 71, number 15, Al Washington, and there is Coach Woody Hayes, not in his shirt sleeves today. The temperature is 40 degrees.
Well, as he's aged, you know, he's got to get a little warmer. He used to come out here when it was 20 degrees in shirt sleeves, but Woody has gotten a little smarter as he's gotten older.
Does that happen, Era, as you
yes,
get older?
It is. I can testify to that.
I guess I can, too. Fortunately, we have foot heaters here in our booth, 98 feet above Ohio Stadium. Second down and 10 for the Wolverines. Here's Lefty Leach. Beautifully thrown to Doug Marsh, whom we told you to watch early in this game. Number 80, we saw him against Notre Dame. He is an absolute perfectionist on pass patterns, and what a pair of hands.
He's really an outstanding football player, and the thing that made this thing go, this play go, Leach fakes, it's a tailback action. He has so much time. Look at the time that he had to throw the ball. March broke out into the right flat, was wide open underneath their Wolfman or their Roverback, and big first down to the 47 or 44-yard line of Ohio.
A 26-yard play now. We have 23 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Ohio State in red, leading 3-0. Leach now.
Oh.
What a catch by Harold Woolfolk, the freshman. Al Washington forced him out of bounds, but not before the Wolverines have made their deepest penetration just inside the Ohio State 30.
Chris, he had two receivers open. He had the tight end breaking into the left flat, and of course he had Woolfolk coming out of the backfield, and it was a great catch by Woolfolk. Watch here, he fakes to him. Woolfolk avoids any of the blockers or the rushers, and then here's the pass. The Woolfolk turns back, makes a great catch on, and Rick Leach could have also thrown to his tight end, who was wide open in the left flat.
All right, now from the 30 of Ohio State, Rick Leach looks over the defenses. He has Feaster to the left. Clayton comes in tight on the line. You saw him, number 22, at the bottom of your screen. Good block by Davis. And here we have a touchdown to Feaster that we said was split to the far side. And Rick Leach now has been involved in touchdowns in his 4-year career, more than any quarterback in the history of college football.
And that's his 15th touchdown pass of the year. And he got single coverage. Feaster beat his man individually. And you saw Rick Leach going to his left and putting the ball right on the numbers. It really wasn't on the numbers. The ball was a little low, but it was in front of the defender. And, of course, it's a touchdown for the Wolverines.
All right. A 70-yard drive, and on the fourth play, a 30-yard touchdown, putting Michigan ahead 6-3. Greg Wilner will try the point after with B.J. Dickey, number 10, holding. We have 9 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The conversion, perfect. So it is now 7-3 here at the Ohio State University. Now let's go back and get an end zone view of that beautiful touchdown by Michigan.
Well, this Rick Leach is really cool. He comes back, fakes the Woolfolk, has plenty of time to throw. He finds Feaster wide open to the inside. You can see him lead him, and he had one-on-one coverage, and that is awful tough when you get that much time to throw the football, Chris.
Another look from another angle.
Okay, Leach goes to his left, fakes the ball. He gets plenty of time, good blocking, and boy, it's right there. One-on-one, that's tough, tough, tough in today's modern athlete. Looks like they scored from all the angles we've got here. Looks like he scored 3 touchdowns, but it's just one. And he didn't wait to get the win in the second period. He took him right down the field, Chris.
9 seconds remaining in the first quarter. It's 7-3. Michigan leading. Kicking off now is Wilner, who added the point after. Going to the far side now to pick up the ball is Ty Hicks. But it went out of bounds at about the 10. Notre Dame, Southern California. An era, that's been a rivalry that you've been associated with, and we, of course, have televised many of them. Yeah, it's just a game not to be missed as the second part of our doubleheader.
It's very much like this classic here. I know I was involved with it for 11 years, and whether you play out in the Coliseum, which we've had some very, very tough games if we've lost games out there, or whether you played at Notre Dame, it was a great rivalry, and it continues on. The fans are going to see a great football game.
Well, the second time now we've had kickoffs go out of bounds. So one for each. So Wilner now, number 2 of Michigan, will kick it off from the 35. It is out of bounds again.
And they wind up on their own goal line.
Brian Virgil is doing the kicking for Michigan. And there is Coach Woody Hayes, who doesn't mind the fact that the next kickoff will come from the Michigan 30.
That's quite an offense.
Well, we mentioned SC Notre Dame following this telecast from Ohio on Monday night at 9 Eastern. Pittsburgh 2 meeting San Francisco, seemingly coming on as last week against the Rams. Their running back Paul Hofer scored 3 touchdowns. That's Monday night, and Dandy Don will be back with Frank and Howard.
Well, psychologically here, or from the standpoint of the win, this is a tough situation for Michigan. They've backed up 10 yards, and they got 9 seconds to go in this quarter. If they had waited to score that touchdown, they'd been able to kick downwind, but they're not going to have the opportunity.
That is Rick Leach watching as Brian Virgil, as they call him Ozzy, ball player. Calvin Murphy, 43, gets it for the Bucks. And Calvin is stopped across the 30 at the 32. We have 6 seconds on the field clock here at horseshoe-shaped and sold-out Ohio Stadium. You see the score, 7-3, and if you just joined us, a 29-yard field goal by Bob Atha put Ohio State ahead with 1:13 to go in the first quarter. And then quickly, Rick Leach went to work, went 70 yards on the 4th play in the drive, threw one 30 yards to Feaster to put Michigan ahead. So now from the 31, here's the freshman, Schleister. A beautiful run, resourceful by Schleister.
I'd say that once again he shows great maturity. The Michigan Wolverines had all of the receivers covered well. Schleister saw some daylight, came up the field, broke to the outside, and has picked up the first down. He is dangerous.
Time has run out here in the first quarter as the sun tries to come through. Michigan, that's the Ohio State band leading Ohio State 7-3.
A lot of companies say they have just what you need and wind up selling you just what they have.
That's not how it is with Xerox. We're the only company that has 18 different copiers and duplicators to choose from, and specialists who are trained to help you choose. So with Xerox, you never have to live with more than you want, or settle for less than you need.
Oh, no! My flight takes early.
Whew. You sure didn't spend any time getting dressed.
Linda, tell him I'll be there in a minute.
Maybe he'd look better in Hager's slacks. Or Hager's sport coat and slacks. He could even afford a Hager vested suit. And that's a look I can't afford to pass up.
Hi.
Susan?
Close enough. For me?
Hager, because looking good makes you feel good.
Ready or not, here I come.
The Goodyear Tiempo is the all-season radio proved last year. Goodyear's Tiempo was the steel-belted snow tire that got Dr. Sherman Sachs through last winter.
Tiempos are fantastic in the snow. I had complete control of the car.
Tiempo was a rain tire for Estelle Scherer.
I didn't have any trouble in the rain. I think Tiempo is a real good all-around tire.
Tiempo is the rain tire, snow tire, sun tire, the one tire that does it all. Goodyear's Tiempo, one tire you can drive with confidence all year.
And now the Scarlet and Gray of Ohio State, with the start of the second quarter, will go from left to right in about a 10-mile-an-hour wind here at Ohio Stadium. Michigan leading 7-3. And freshman quarterback Art Schleister is 1-for-1 passing, 4 yards. He has rushed 7 times for 26. First down play from the 43. He had just gained the first down on a 13-yard carry, and Rick Volley, #1 ball carrier thus far today for Ohio State, moved the ball out to about the 44, so it's going to be 2nd and 9. Volley now with 44 yards and 7 carries. Spring. Those were hard-earned yards. Turgovac, number 77, and Grayman, number 28, as we look at the first quarter's figures.
Yeah, I think statistically you see Ohio State did gain 90 yards in that first quarter, which is quite a bit of yardage against the Michigan defense, who is #2 in the nation. But the big play, of course, was a pass play, passing, which gave the Michigan Wolverines a touchdown. They have 102-94.
Rick Leach of Michigan is 3 for 3, 70 yards and a touchdown. Here's his counterpart, first-year man, 3rd and 5. Not back to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be a 4th down from their own territory as Dale Kites hangs in there to put the stop at the 46, a loss of 2, 4th and 7.
Well, you've got to give it to that youngster. And
Schleister's
also
limping.
Yes, well, I think he's going to be all right. But Woody went with him for the whole 10 ball games. This is his 11th, and he shows me poise and maturity that he did not have on the opening game against Penn State, right in the same stadium.
One of the finest punters in the nation, Tom Orris of Fairport Harbor, Ohio, kicks it. Mike Jolly just let it go, as it is dead now at approximately the 20 of the Wolverines, who have a 7-3 lead. They scored, going 70 yards, and on the 4th play, a 30-yard strike, Rick Leach to Feaster, Leach's 15th touchdown pass of the year. Ohio State scored near the closing moments, 1:13 of the first, on a 29-yard field goal.
You know, Chris, one of the things that's happening in this ball game is that Ohio State has been able to move the football on the ground, and Michigan has not, although Michigan can throw that football, and let's see on this drive.
Far side for the Wolverines in white. Davis hits quickly. 54 in on the play, Luther Henson of Sandusky, Ohio, and Al Washington of Cleveland, number 15. So it's going to be a 2nd down and 8 for Michigan, leading 7-3. A win today by either team puts them in the Rose Bowl against Southern California. If it's a tie, it'll be Michigan going. And now from the 23-yard line, a 2nd down and 8. 7-3, Michigan leading. Opening moments, second quarter. Leach. You saw his power as he had number 16 really knocked down on the play for Ohio State. That is Paul Ross, one of the linebackers.
Let's take a look at number 71, Brian Cato, who is the open field tackle. He neutralizes his blocker beautifully, sees Leach coming back to his outside, flows with the play, and is in on the tackle right there.
And now in the lineup for Michigan. First time today, number 26, Roosevelt Smith of Detroit. He and Davis are the setbacks in the eye behind Leach on a 3rd down and 4 from their own 27. They lead 7-3. Cooley, Davis slips out of the backfield, pulls it in as Tom Cousineau makes the stop across the 35. So that was about a 8-yard gain and a first down.
Chris, I think you see the maturity of Leach. He comes back here. He has a blitz coming by Todd Bell, number 25. He almost gets to him. He stays right in there and deals the ball off. It's incredible what experience will do for you. Russell Davis catches the pass and, of course, picks up a first down.
Now from the 37, it'll be a first down as Leach has thrown 4 times, number 7 in white. Completed 4 for 79 yards and a touchdown. Woolfolk, 24, replaces Smith. He and Davis are the setbacks. The pitch is Woolfolk. Woolfolk, number 24, kiddingly told his coach, Bo Schembechler, yesterday, since he was starting the ball game today, that he would become a household name because of the television coverage. And this is the young farm boy from Bloomingburg, Ohio, Art Schleister.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm impressed with him. He has come a long way during the course of the year. A very talented guy. It appears that he may be changing the shoes. I've been sort of surprised by the amount of slipping that has taken place on the part of particularly the Ohio State team in the running game.
Smith is the deep back, 2nd down and 9. A fake to him. Leach. The Ohio State fans felt that he threw it much too long. It was in the direction of some Wolverine players. Brian Cato, 71, put the rush on Rick Leach on a 2nd and 9 as we have 10:49 remaining in the first half. Michigan leading by a score of 7-3.
Well, you saw another example of a seasoned experienced quarterback. Even though the ball touches the ground, that doesn't mean the man is down. The man was not down. Rick was not down. And he unloaded the ball to save the negative yardage, and now they've got 3rd down and 9 instead of 3rd and 20.
Michigan averaging nearly 35 points per game. 9-1 on the season. And the deep back, Woolfolk, gets it, and the Ohio State defense forces a Michigan punt. Paul Ross, one of the players along with 15, Al Washington. So now it's going to be 4th down. And Greg Wilner of Miami Beach, Florida, will come into the lineup as we look at the upper deck. This huge stadium was built in 1922. It covers 10 acres of valuable real estate. Built at that time, those many years ago, for $1.3 million. All right, Guess is back for Ohio State. The snap will come from the Michigan 38. The punt is up. Guess has it, number 12. And 3 Wolverines converge following a 43-yard punt with about 10 minutes remaining in the first half. We have a pause in the action with Michigan leading 7-3.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield plans present An American Tragedy. Nothing is so useful as the car, but many Americans misuse it. Blue Cross and Blue Shield plans are working to hold the cost of health care down. So stay fit. Walk when you don't need to drive. Together, we can keep the cost of health care from being driven even higher.
Right now is a great time for love. Chevy Love Series 8 with a 7.5-foot box, the longest box of any economy-size pickup, with soft ride suspension, with a 1,635-pound payload capacity, and the kind of mileage you might expect. 34 miles per gallon on the highway, 24 city. See your Chevy dealer now. Don't miss the last of the deals on the tough Series 8 Chevy Love. Chevy trucks, built to stay tough.
Next, Rose Bowl bound number 3, USC battles 8th-ranked Notre Dame, heading for the Cotton Bowl. The top-ranked clash, USC Notre Dame, is next.
10 minutes and 1 second remaining in the first half. The 3rd punt by the Michigan Wolverines now. It'll be snapped from the 31 of Ohio State. 7-3 the score. Schleister to number 22, Rick Volley. Canavino, number 41, in the tackle. And here's the score. Clemson ranked number 10, leading South Carolina 21-0. They will be the host team in the Gator Bowl, to be seen exclusively here on ABC December 29th against the loser of this game we're watching right now.
Gator Bowl Classic.
Number 34, second down and 7 for Schleister. Springs, number 23. Number 40, Ron Simpkins was there, along with number 95, Curtis Greer. And 23, Springs, goes back. He has 3 brothers and 2 sisters. He lettered in football, track, and basketball in high school. In high school, he scored 53 touchdowns. He has 2 touchdowns thus far this year. Now, it's a 3rd down and 6. Schleister. A low pass intended for Rod Gerald of Dallas, Texas, who is playing his final regular season game. There's Harlan Huckabee, who certainly would like to have been in this ball game era.
Well, he's produced over 700 yards. I think one of the things that we might watch in this ball game is the fact that on 2 occasions now, Michigan has almost had punts blocked, and it may be a very instrumental factor in this game as it moves forward. Ohio State has studied the film.
Jolly and Harden are deep. Orris' punt is high and long. Jolly gets it at the 14. He was out of bounds at the 13. Stepped out of bounds at the 13. So, that weapon, the punt, paying off for Ohio State as Dave Phillips was there to force him out. We'll be back.
A lot of motor oils offer you protection. Some offer you gasoline mileage, too. Haviland Super Premium has been tested for both. Tests in state trooper cars for over 4 million miles proved Haviland really protects. And in a test against the leading 10W40 oil advertising extra gasoline mileage, Haviland couldn't be beat. So get an oil that's been trooper tested and mileage tested. Get Haviland Super Premium from Texaco.
30 years ago, on a hot summer's day, your father taught you how to dig for clams. Now that it's a job, the sun seems hotter and the day longer, but the clams taste just as sweet. And now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best-tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller Beer.
1978 marks the 22nd consecutive year that the Big Ten Conference has led the nation in football attendance. This season's current average of over 60,600 is an all-time high, up nearly 1,000 fans per game from the record year in 1976.
Ohio State's punter, Tom Orris, kicked one 50 yards. From the eye, Rick Leach hands it to the deep back. Woolfolk, the freshman. Snap coming from the 13 of Michigan as Todd Bell makes the tackle, and Woolfolk was shaken up momentarily on the play. Let's go down to the field and Bill Fleming.
Just a quick note here, Chris, that Rutgers, one of the nation's outstanding teams with a 9-1 record, is leading Colgate 6-0 in the second period. Rutgers, as you know, is going to be the host team in the Garden State Classic. That'll be at East Rutherford, New Jersey at the Giant Stadium, and that will be on December the 16th against Arizona State. I might mention here, too, that Michigan is a little short on tailbacks. Harlan Huckabee is out, and now Butch Woolfolk, the young freshman, has been hurt on the play, and so they're getting a little bit thin. All right, back to you, Chris.
Bo Schembechler, 10th year at Michigan. Roosevelt Smith will be Woolfolk's replacement as they have the ball now at the 19 on a 2nd down and 4. They lead 7-3 with 8:26 remaining in the first half. Rick Leach. And Russell Davis, one of the seniors on the offensive unit, going across the 30 for a Michigan first down, and Gary Doolin of Madisonville, Kentucky, made the stop on this big man.
You see that Leach gives it to the first back through Russ Davis. He gets good blocking. He cracks the seam. Steve Nada put a good block on, and he's the offensive center, number 50, and that's why that play really moved out of there.
You're looking at Michigan, 1st and 10 from their own 33. They lead 7-3. There's Cousineau again, number 36. On Russell Davis, number 33 of Michigan. Cousineau. Woolfolk now being checked by the doctor, orthopedic man from the University of Michigan.
Checking those ligaments and seeing whether or not he really got a shot there from the side angle. I don't know. It didn't look like the leg was planted when he was hit. So hopefully it's not too serious.
Bill will get word. He's headed on the far side of the field now to just see the extent of the damage. Michigan now with a 2nd down and 9 at the 34. That was Feaster in motion. And Leach gets good protection. Was he? It was intended for Marsh. Todd Bell, number 25, a sophomore, covering on the play deep.
This Leach has really got touch. He really lays the ball in there. He fakes the ball to Davis. Looks like he's going to get a lot of pressure here. Roosevelt Smith blocks for him. There he leads him right there, Marsh. And it's right in his hands, right there. Well, he's distracted. Take it back. I guess that Todd Bell was there. And
Vince Skilling as well.
Yes.
All right, so it's going to be a 3rd down now. Snap will come from the 33. And the Buckeye defense, led by number 36, Cousineau, and number 32, Kelton Dantzler, tack a big loss, bringing up a punting situation. With 7 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first half, the Buckeye defense, which has sputtered most of the year, they're delighted.
Good pressure on Leach that time. He tried to scramble out, but they had too many Buckeyes there, and big negative yardage occurred, and they're forced into a punting situation.
Mike Guess, number 12, in single safety on a 4th down and 19. The snap coming from the 23 of Michigan. 10 men to put the rush on the punter.
Oh, good one.
Cool Greg Wilner gets it off, and Guess comes to the 39 of Ohio State. Number 1, Greg Wilner of Miami Beach, Florida. A senior, did the punting, and with a continuing type of motion, very, very close to an infraction.
The snap is high there. He just barely got the ball away. They're putting pressure on it because a week ago, Purdue blocked the punt on this same Michigan team.
That was Skillings that was in on the punter. Schleister now on a 1st and 10 from his own 39. Pinching in, we had Kites, 55, 77, the sophomore, Turgovac. Wolverine defense, we're looking at them here, and they want to go back to the Rose Bowl and avenge the defeats they've had in that game. So at the 36 now, a 3-yard loss. It's going to be 2nd down and 13 as Michigan leads 7-3. 6.5 minutes remaining. Schleister to Springs. And Springs is near the 1st down.
Rod Gerald made that play possible. He walled off the corner man coming up to support, and Springs took the outside for big yardage. Well-executed option play.
Now the important placement of the ball on the far side of the field here at Ohio Stadium before some 88,000. And they need, well, they haven't put the 2 stakes in the area of the forward progress. They will in just a moment. But it brings up a 3rd down as we have Gerald coming out, Springs coming out. Johnson comes in, number 21. And now from the robust, the T formation on a 3rd down and 1. 1st down, Ohio State. And it's the freshman, Schleister, with a good block from Ricky Johnson, who came into the lineup era. Beautiful play.
He was the lead blocker on it. Schleister went right in behind him and picked up the 1st down without any difficulty. Watch it here from the end zone shot. Comes down the line. He gets good daylight. You see number 21. Ricky Johnson do a job so that the 1st down is easy for Schleister.
And now the 3rd time that Ohio State has been in Michigan territory. Missed a field goal and successful on 29, and Schleister comes to the 40 for about an 8-yard gain. Bell and Harden make the stop on number 10. He has a brother, John, who farms with his father in Blumenberg, Ohio. He has a sister, Dawn, who's a teacher in historic Greenville, Ohio. Look, baby-faced. So now, 2nd down and 2 at the Michigan 40. First down by the quarterback. Schleister stopped by Canavino and Michael Harden, and the Buckeye fans, outnumbering the maize and blue here, are happy. Let's go to Bill Fleming.
Chris, this is not pertinent at the moment because Michigan is on defense, but when they do get back on offense, it looks like Butch Woolfolk will be able to play. Jerry O'Connor, the team physician, said it's just a bruise, not serious. He'll be back in.
Thank you very much, Bill. There we're looking at him. Woolfolk. Schleister on a 1st and 10 from the Michigan 36. Whoa, nearly intercepting was Ron Simpkins. And Schleister can breathe a sigh of relief because he's had 19 intercepted this year, but a lot of freshmen have that happen to them.
Well, he threw the ball well. It was a good defensive effort. Looks like Woolfolk may be all right to be back into the ball game. I'm glad to see that he's not injured seriously.
Well, that freshman from Westfield, New Jersey is certainly limbering up as we have a 2nd and 10 from the Michigan 36. Schleister, pitch out to Springs. And Springs takes on several Michigan Wolverines and gets to the 26 near a first down. Bell and Turgovac on the stop. The referee, Otho Courts, indicates the first down.
Okay, this is where it gets tough down in here at the 25-yard line. The Wolverines over the years have been tough when you challenge their goal line.
They have gotten to the 21 of Michigan earlier, missing on a 38-yard field goal. Then they moved to the 13 and kicked a 29-yard field goal. We have 4:47 remaining in the first half. Michigan leads 7-3. Donnelly in motion from the 25. And on the option, he slides along the line. Schleister, the quarterback, and Needham greets him there, along with Turgovac.
Well, that's all he could do that time, Chris. If he continued on down the line, he'd had negative yardage. Or if he pitched the ball, Michigan was well defensed, and he had to turn it inside, and he got good positive yardage.
And now Turgovac, number 77, the sophomore, limps to the far sideline. We'll try to get a report on him. It's a 2nd down and 6 now for Ohio State in the scarlet jerseys. 3-7, they're trailing. 65, Keith Ferguson of Miami, Florida. Saw a little movement there, Errol.
Well, that is a critical, really, a penalty because they had 2nd down and 5. You see Keith Ferguson here, number 65, jumps the snap count, and it's a 5-yard penalty. Now they have 2nd and 10, and it really makes it tough when you get down in here, particularly when you go against this goal line defenses of Michigan.
Illegal procedure of position as we look at Coach Woodrow Hayes in his 28th season here at Ohio State. Imagine he took over in 1951, still growing strong. 2nd down at about 10. And from the 26, may have gotten a couple of yards, Rick Volley. Curtis Greer, number 95 for Michigan, in on the stop. The 24, it's going to be a 3rd down and 8 now as we look at the Ohio State offensive unit. Number 70 is Joe Robinson as the field clock gives you the indication. 3:37 to go in the first half. Michigan now leading 7-3. Good halftime show. Fireman's Fun flashback along with the 2 bands, Michigan and Ohio State. Donnelly in motion. 3rd and 8. Schleister. Loose ball. Picked up by a Wolverine. Number 41, Andy Canavino. Jerry Meter knocked the ball loose. So it is a big turnover now in the closing moments of the first half, and Michigan gets the ball on a 3rd down fumble recovery. Capacity crowd as we take a break. Scarlet and gray everywhere here on this gray afternoon in Columbus, Ohio.
Ricky?
There's the carpet. That carpet era doesn't have much pile to it. As we were talking to Bo yesterday, he made that comment.
Yes, the nap is worn down pretty good. The reason that the Michigan got that football, they blitzed Schleister, put man-to-man coverage on, and they got to him before he could get the ball off.
So for Michigan, Canavino recovering the fumble. Feaster in motion. Oh, look at that hole. And taking advantage was Roosevelt Smith, the junior from Detroit, moving from the 32 out to the 48 of Michigan.
This is the biggest hole, I think, that the Michigan Ball Club has had. They reach block all the way across. The pursuit of the Ohio State team overreacts and overruns it. And you see Roosevelt Smith, who is not at full tilt, running very well on that particular play.
Terrific strong tackle. Bill Dufak of Kent, Ohio, really helped when springing him loose. From the 48 now, first down, Feaster in motion. Rick Leach keeps it. Lefts one out toward Feaster. Covering defensively, number 12, Mike Guess of Columbus, Ohio. As we look at number 41 of Michigan, that's Canavino, who recovered the fumble, getting the ball for his offensive unit, one of the finest in the country. 9-1 on the season, 6-1 in the Big Ten.
Mike Guess did a great job. He's right here from Columbus. He pointed out, Chris, that he was in perfect position. Leach also had an open receiver, his tight end, in the inside seam, but he elected to go for the long one.
All right, Doug Marsh leaves the lineup. Gene Johnson, 88 is in. Feaster goes in motion on a 2nd and 10 for Leach. And it's given to Smith. Al Washington, 15, was one of the early hitters in on the play. Along at number 72 is Mark Sullivan, the senior from New Bedford, Massachusetts.
What Leach was trying to do, he was sprinting out what they call a sprint draw. He was sprinting out to the field as if he was going to throw the ball, trying to get the linebackers to drop off, and then slip the ball to his tailback. But the Ohio State Buckeyes were there to pick it up.
A little more than 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Michigan with the ball, leading 7-3, 3rd and 6 right here at the 48 of Ohio State. A beautiful lead pass to Ralph Clayton. Number 22 getting inside the 35 of Ohio State, moving it to 33.5.
Once again, they have the problem of single coverage. Leach comes back to the left, fakes to the I-back Roosevelt Smith, turns and looks back to the inside. You see the single coverage by Mike Guess on Clayton, and that is almost impossible. Clayton is fast, big, strong, and great hands.
And a young man who has published many of his poems. So with a 1st and 10 at the 33.5, Feaster in motion. Leach keeps it on the ground, pulverizing now, moving number 33, Russell Davis, one of the seniors on the Michigan team, with 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in the first half. Michigan leading 7-3. The spot is marked at the 29, so it's going to be approximately a 2nd and 6 as time is called by Bo Schembechler's Wolverines. Time remaining, the score 7-3 Michigan.
The big news for 79 is from Chevrolet. The new Chevy Monza 2+2 hatchback. It's more car for less money and a lot more kicks. Now, standard equipment includes tinted glass, AM radio, shift console, sports steering wheel, white striped tires, body side molding, bucket seats, carpeting, a hatchback, and more. All standard and all for less than what last year's Chevy Monza 2+2 would have cost with the same equipment. That's more car, more kicks for less money. New Chevy Monza.
You know, when I've got a little extra time on my hands, I like to do things I really enjoy, like roping. But there's one thing I enjoy all the time, and that's tobacco. And just like millions of other guys, I get my tobacco pleasure without lighting up, because I use smokeless tobacco. My favorite brand is Skoal with the wintergreen taste. And just a pinch between your cheek and gum is all it takes. And boy, it sure does feel good in there. So take it from me, Walt Garrison. Do something you're really going to enjoy. Try going smokeless.
Another hard-fought Ohio State-Michigan game. There's the head coach of the Wolverines, Bo Schembechler. His team now with a 2nd down and 6 at the Ohio State 29. Time important now. 1 minute 36 left in the first half. Michigan leading 7-3. Leach is 5 of 8. Poised, avoiding a big loss and getting a gain of about 3 yards, bringing up 3rd down and 3 Tom Cousineau was there to make the stop. Let's see. It is enough for the first down. Beautiful play by Rick Leach.
Chris, that's what a scrambling type quarterback can do for you. He's back there to pass. No one is open. He elects to run the football. He winds up picking up a first down. And that's the difference between a runner with a ball and the quarterback that can throw the ball and a runner that can run with the ball.
First and 10 pass from the 23. Sidelines it. Intended for Rodney Feaster, a sophomore from Flint, Michigan. Mike Guess covered on the plays. We pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
This is WXYZ TV Channel 7 Detroit.
1 minute, 7 seconds. Second down and 10 from the 23 of Ohio State. Michigan leading 7-3.
1 minute and 7 seconds left to go, and Michigan has 2 timeouts to play with, which is very important in this drive.
Feaster and Clayton to the far side. A slot formation. Eye in the backfield. Leach. Clayton. Make it 26 Smith. Very, very close. For a first down, we'll look to the far sideline, and the head linesman is Todd Bell, covered on the play. Time is called by Michigan, stopping the clock at 52 seconds here in the first half, with the Wolverines scoring on a beautiful pass. Leach to Feaster at the end of the first quarter.
You know me as Mr. Goodwrench, the professional mechanic who cares about your GM car. But your participating GM dealer also has a Mr. Goodwrench who cares at the service write-up desk and in the parts department. We're all over the service department, just to be sure your GM car gets Mr. Goodwrench professional care.
You never had it so good.
Keep that great GM feeling
With Mr. Goodwrench.
That's us.
and genuine GM parts.
With a Kodak Color Burst Instant Camera, you get color in minutes. Color by Kodak.
Let me see.
That's downright irresistible.
Let me see, let me see.
Which makes Kodak Color Burst Instant Cameras among the more irresistible of Christmas presents.
Touchdown excitement next Friday night. Number 9, Texas battles Texas A&M in a special telecast. Then Saturday, Georgia in a must-win game for our Sugar Bowl chance takes on Georgia Tech. And the Army-Navy game, one of the fiercest college rivalries. The action begins Friday night.
In a Michigan timeout, Rick Leach has talked to his coach. Third down at about a half a yard at the Ohio State 13 with 52 seconds remaining in the first half. Michigan leading 7-3. Here it is. Leach wants it all. Oh, he was there but lost the ball. Johnson. Vince Skillings. Look at the pileup in the end zone. A beautiful lead pass to Gene Johnson, who couldn't find the handle. Skillings of Ohio State came in to recover the ball.
It's interesting whether or not he crossed that plane of glass. The official was right there to look at it. Leach comes back, has ample time. He throws the ball. Now let's see whether or not he crosses that. He rules it a possession. He runs. It is stripped just before he gets into the end zone. The ball falls at about the 1 foot line and recovered. A big break for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Instead of being a touchdown for Michigan, Ohio State has the ball.
Now look at this great athlete, Skillings. He not only knocks the ball loose, makes the tackle now. Guess who recovers the ball?
Here comes Skillings after he made, what a sensational play. Wow.
Is that desire?
And a big change.
So now from the 20 on the touchback, 43 seconds to go. And Ohio State conservatively will run out the clock, trailing 3-7. Ohio State scoring first on a 29-yard field goal. Michigan came back to mount a beautiful drive, 70 yards, and on the fourth play, Leach hit Feaster for a 30-yard scoring play. It's 7-3. It's second down and 12 now for Ohio State. On the clock, 16 seconds and running. And Schleister Just runs it out.
Yeah, going to be content to run the clock out. They don't want to make any mistakes. They really got a good break. They don't want to take that break away from themselves by having a turnover.
So, all the scoring was in the closing minute and 13 seconds of the first quarter. It is 7-3 now, here at halftime.
Hey, Jan, that's your mother today. Yeah. Go get him. Go get him.
Now the sun makes an appearance here in Columbus, Ohio. Really the first time today as we see blue sky for the initial try. And let's go to Bill Fleming.
Coach Bo Schembechler right now. Coach, I know you're disappointed not having 14 up there, but I'll tell you, your team has played great.
How's it look on television? I thought he's in the end zone.
It looked like it was a foot short.
Well, let's see. I thought they scored. Okay.
We'll be back with more of our halftime activities here in the Ohio Stadium. But first, let's pause for a special message about an upcoming ABC program. I tried to get a word with Woody Hayes, but he is so intent on getting together with his team. There was a very inspirational moment at the end of the first half when Ohio State stopped Michigan when it looked like the Wolverines were going to go up at least by 10 points. And Woody has called the team together right over here, asked them to be quiet for just a moment. And I don't know, Chris, whether we're going to be able to get in there or not. I certainly don't want to battle through Tom Cousino and company.
Okay, Bill, and we suggest you don't go into that group of people for many reasons. So the sun is out, blue skies overhead, and Era, the first half statistics.
Yeah, I think the thing that we see here is the better balanced attack.
About an upcoming ABC program. I tried to get a word with Woody Hayes, but he is so intent on getting together with his team. There was a very inspirational moment at the end of the first half when Ohio State stopped Michigan when it looked like the Wolverines were going to go up at least by 10 points. And Woody has called the team together right over here, asked them to be quiet for just a moment. And I don't know, Chris, whether we're going to be able to get in there or not. I certainly don't want to battle through Tom Cousino and company.
Okay, Bill, and we suggest you don't go into that group of people for many reasons. So the sun is out, blue skies overhead, and Era, the first half statistics.
Yeah, I think the thing that we see here is the better balanced attack on the part of Michigan. They have both run and passed the ball with effectiveness for 188 yards. Ohio State has moved the ball very well on the ground for 123 yards. But you can see in the passing department only 4 yards. They need a better balance in their attack in the second half. And of course, they were very fortunate with the fumble that occurred, the great play by Skillings just at the end of the half to save a touchdown. Otherwise, this score would have been 14-3. They're right in this ball game if they can blend a little bit better, more balance in their attack.
And as we look at Bo Schembechler, who has his master's degree from Ohio State, he played for Woody at Miami of Ohio, coached for him right here at Ohio State, and of course, he's in his 10th year at Michigan. He's won the last 2 times. At Era, we've had a 29-yard field goal by Ohio State at 1:13 remaining in the first quarter, and 64 seconds later, Rick Leach hit Feaster for the 30-yard touchdown to put Michigan ahead. So now, in 2.5 games, Ohio State has yet to score a touchdown against Michigan.
Well, that's nothing new, Chris. I'll tell you, there's not many teams that have scored many touchdowns against the Wolverines. They are tough. Number 2 in the nation, as I pointed earlier.
Rick Leach, 16.4 yards per completion. And what a young man. Bo Schembechler can't say enough about him as an athlete, as a competitor, and as a person. Dick and Nancy Leach's 21-year-old son. And Rick has a grandma, Gladys Leach, who is a deaf mute, comes to the games, and over the years, Rick has learned to speak with her in sign language as we look at Ty Hicks, who will receive Brian Virgil's kick to start the second half. Ohio State, Scarlet. Hicks has it. Coming out to the 10, 15, 20. Breaks through at the 25. Now up to the 30. And retains possession and comes to the 31. The defense of Michigan now.
Good return. Dale Kites, very fine football player. He had a good first half from Columbus, Ohio here. Mike Trigovac, middle guard. Curtis Greer, the defensive tackle from Detroit, Michigan. Jerry Meters, the guy that came in and sacked Schleister a couple of times, and I said at the beginning he was going to be a great football player. Canavino and Simpkins, both the linebackers, and back to action.
Ohio State ready to go. Schleister hands off on the very first play of the second half, and it is Rick Volley, number 22 from the 31, stopped by Dale Kites. Let's look at the backfield defensively.
Well, this backfield has come along real well in the second half of the season. They start out a little bit slow. They haven't picked off as many passes as the Ohio State secondary, but they're a very steady, consistent secondary.
2nd and 7 for Ohio State. Schleister, the freshman, hands off to Volley again, who coming into the second half had 10 carries for 52 yards. Curtis Greer, the right tackle, made the stop. And here you look at Schleister, Campbell, and Springs in the backfield. Donnelly, the flanker. Rod Gerald, who quarterbacked this team for 2 years, now the split end, and you saw the tight end, either March or Johnson. And up front, Ferguson, Fritz, Vogler, and Savoca, along with Robinson. All right, it is 3rd down and 3.
I think that's the first time they've stopped Schleister on the short yardage situation. It was an option play.
And Simpkins, along with Curtis Greer, make the stop on number 10, Art Schleister. Let's take a look at Simpkins.
Ron Simpkins, the number 1 tackler on the Michigan Wolverines. You see here that they are short of the first down. They don't quite have the replay on that, but you can see they're short, and it's the first time that Schleister has not been able to pick up the first down on short yardage. They have run the ball very well, and the Wolverines have held on this first series of downs at the beginning of the second half.
So 4th down, and we're going, a measurement has been called for, which is the prerogative of the team captains. It looks like it's going to be less than a yard short, bringing up 4th down, and the field position is just across the Ohio State 40 at about the 41. So Tom Orris, a very fine punter, coming into the game had an average of 44.1. Jolly and Harden will be going deep for the Michigan Wolverines. Looking into the sun will be the punter, Orris. Kicking in a southerly direction. Beautiful punt, hanging high. Jolly looks at it. Jolly has it. And number 77 for Ohio State, that was Dave Phillips, making sure that he didn't lose the ball.
He was trying to harass him that time. There's Luther Henson, who had a good first half, right from Sandusky, Ohio. Mark Sullivan, the nose man, that jumped around Nada a couple of times to make plays. Byron Cato, we saw him in a replay do a good job. Paul Ross and Kelton Dantzler. Here's Tom Cousineau, the number 1 tackler, All-American. Al Washington, the other linebacker. We didn't hear his name very often in the first half, but we did Dantzler's.
Leach, the quarterback, Clayton, and Smith are in the backfield from the 17-yard line. 1st and 10 following a 42-yard punt. Michigan leading 7-3. 13:22 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Davis carry.
Michael Guess has played well. He guarded well on long passes. Bob Murphy, defensive secondary. This team has intercepted 19 passes. Todd Bell played well. And here's the guy that really saved the score, Vince Skillings, shaking the ball loose from Gene Johnson and keeping the Wolverines from going up by 10 points.
Looking at Rick Leach, 2nd down and 6 from his own 21. Michigan leading 7-3. Opening moments of the second half. Just another example of why Rick Leach has had such a 4-year career at Michigan. Has scored more points than any quarterback, has accounted for more touchdowns than any quarterback in the history of the game. And Woolfolk has been in the lineup, the freshman number 24, Russell Davis number 33. The standby Smith has been also one of the running backs. Huckabee is out of the lineup, injured. So now with the ball up at about the 20, let's make it the 28. This first down play goes to Smith. Bob Murphy, the cornerback, number 28, making the stop. And 26, Smith, coming back to the Michigan huddle as a replay it.
Roosevelt Smith takes the ball. This is the first missed opening drive by the Michigan Ball Club. They're moving Ohio State well. They were not able to drive consistently against the Buckeyes in the first half. But in the opening series here, they have made 2 first downs, and they appear to be blocking and running a little bit better.
The bottom of your screen, that's Feaster. Smith, 32 yards rushing, 1 pass for 10 yards. First down from the 41 of Michigan. Gang tackling on the part of the OSU defense.
I think
50 blocking up front for Lawrence Reed of Philadelphia. Steve Nutt of Norristown, Pennsylvania, number 50, snapped the ball and blocked, bringing the ball out to the 43. It's a 2nd down and 7. The Michigan band continues to play, hoping to make a trip to the Rose Bowl.
Chris, that's about the 6th or 7th time that Michigan has tried to go inside against Mark Sullivan, the nose man, on that little trap play, and they have yet to make any positive yardage. They are defensing that play well on Russ Davis.
Feaster and Clayton left and right, 2nd and 7. Leach fakes the handoff, throws long. Short on the distance, direction was fine. Skillings, number 48, was there in the area of Ralph Clayton, the intended receiver. So it'll be a 3rd down and 7 as Leach now is 7 of 12, 115 yards and 1 touchdown.
I think he rushed it here a little bit. He had him wide open down the right sideline. You see the ball's well underthrown, and if he had lofted that ball up with a little air under the ball, I tell you, that could have been a score.
Michigan, its 9th 3rd down conversion try. They are 3 of 8. 3rd and 7 at their own 43. They lead 7-3 with 11.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Great pass blocking, but it is ruled a trap ball. Clayton. There he is, number 22.
Well, they attempted to put the blitz on him, talking about the Buckeyes. They did not get the leads. Clayton comes down, breaks to the inside, has single coverage. He's wide open, and Leach hits him. Its ball is thrown low and away from the defender. Let's see where it is he drops this ball. Well, our back is to it. There it is. He did not hold on to it.
All right, Wilner now, who has kicked 4 times, averaging 35 yards.
Here they come again.
10 of them. Slight wind behind him. Wilner's punt is spiraling, and Mike Guess looks at it at the 13, 15, 20, and that's where Ohio State will try to move the ball, trailing by 4, following a 44-yard punt. Will return, Michigan leading 7-3.
Tiempo is the all-season tire from Goodyear. A steel-belted radial that stays on your car all year. The Goodyear Tiempo. Tiempo is the rain tire that grips the wet roads. It's a sun tire that rides quietly. And Tiempo is the snow tire from Goodyear that you keep on your car all year. Goodyear's Tiempo, the one tire you can drive with confidence all year.
Homeward bound, coast of New England.
You got 6'2" feet. 6'2", 9.
The Navy. See a recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
Next, Rose Bowl bound, number 3, USC battles 8th-ranked Notre Dame, heading for the Cotton Bowl. The top-ranked clash, USC Notre Dame, is next.
Back again at Ohio Stadium. Sunshiny afternoon now as we have 11 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Ohio State getting the ball following a punt. Schleister immediately thrown for a loss by Curtis Greer, the senior right tackle from Detroit, 6 feet 5 inches tall. And from the 20, the ball will come back to about the 17, so it'll be 2nd down and 13.
Now, coming into this ball game, he had created negative yardage of 41 yards on 7 involvements, and he just added on to that another 3 yards.
Dunley and Gerald set away as potential receivers for the first-year quarterback Schleister. Keeps it on the ground. Springs nearly breaks one here for the Ohio State Buckeyes. He is short of a first down. It'll bring up 3rd down for OSU.
Well, they had the sprint drawn that time. Michigan team was deployed for a pass. You see Schleister runs out, then he cuts back against the green. The Michigan ball club had overreacted in pursuit. And, of course, Springs breaks a couple tackles and picks up good yardage.
So it's going to be a 3rd down and about 2. total confusion on the play and execution of it. Ohio State in the scarlet jerseys. Referee Otho Kortz from Oaklawn, Illinois.
Well, Rick Bali broke the snap count again. He was probably to be the lead back on the play over the right tackle spot, and it's very unusual to see Ohio State Woody Hayes coach teams to make that kind of mistake. As a matter of fact, they did it in the first half when Keith Ferguson on a 2nd and 5 down in deep in Michigan territory broke a snap count and made it 2nd and 10 instead of 2nd and 5. Now they've got 3rd down and long yardage instead of 3rd and short.
All right, 3rd and 7 from the I. Flank to the right side, split end opposite. 3rd and 7.
Draw again.
Short. Ron Springs picking up a few yards, but he'll bring up a 4th down for Ohio State on their 2nd possession of the 2nd half, trailing 3-7.
I think it's very apparent that Woody Hayes wants to play a conservative ball game. It's a 7-3 score. He does not want Schleister to throw an interception or have any fancy plays, create a turnover deep in his own territory. He's got a great punter in Tom Orris, and he's kicked very well this afternoon. So here he goes again.
Look at that right foot forward now. Orris moving to the ball.
Good one.
Catches it like a Jack Nicklaus drive. Mike Jolly. And Jolly, number 16, can do no more than fall forward for 2 yards, and Michigan will move it from its own 31. As we look at other scores, Clemson ranked number 10 and in the Gator Bowl, 31-14 over South Carolina. Rutgers, fine season, capping it with a 9-0 lead.
Villanova's leading Temple by the score of 10-0. Incidentally, that Massachusetts beat Boston College. Connecticut winning. That was a 49-yard punt, Chris, and that was really a great punt.
From the I formation, 2nd possession for the Wolverines. Rick Leach, 1st and 10 from the 31. They had 88 in the backfield. That was Johnson. Roosevelt Smith went wide, and it was Johnson, 88, who carried on the play, and he was the tight end. He and Doug Marsh alternate.
You know, Chris, Bo came up with that last week against Purdue. He stations the tight end right behind the quarterback, and he will motion either way, be a lead blocker or enter into pass plays.
Michigan State 35-0 over Iowa in the 2nd quarter era. Ooh. 2nd down and 6 for Michigan, leading 7-3 here in the 3rd quarter with 9:24 to go. Feaster in motion. The deep back Smith carries on the play. One of the 2 tailbacks that Coach Bo Schembechler has used today, along with freshman number 24, Harold Wolfpack. They miss Harlan Huckabee, the senior from Detroit. Tackles by Paul Ross and Al Washington.
Paul Ross really came from the open field side and really pursued and got in on the play. He was as far away from it as you could be and got involved in it.
And now a real test for the OSU defense. 3rd and 2 from the Michigan 39. Michigan leading 7-3. Notre Dame and SC follow this game from the Coliseum in Los Angeles. And striving for the 1st down and getting it, junior Lawrence Reed of Philadelphia, number 23, Kelton Dantzler, number 32 on the tackle.
Now this is a short yardage situation. Ohio State elected not to go into a goal line defense. They give the ball to Lawrence Reed, and he finds enough yardage for the 1st down. He's carried the ball 44 times for 190 yards this year, which is pretty good. And here he is making the 1st down for Michigan.
Feaster, who caught the touchdown pass from number 7 Leach near the end of the 1st quarter with 9 seconds to go, is to the far side at the top of your screen on a 1st and 10 from the 43. Leach takes a pitch and moves it forward to about the 48. 5-yard gain, and Ross and Cato and Cousino in on the stop.
Michigan's moving the ball a little bit more effectively than they did in the 1st half on the ground. Ohio State stopped them on the ground pretty much.
Hands folded. Woody Hayes on the near sideline arrow.
Well, there could be something that could change that pose. Any kind of activity gets disturbed, you'll know about it.
Look at that full deck in the backfield, using number 88, the tight end, right behind the quarterback, who comes this way, Johnson. Oh. Roosevelt Smith, an era. Most anyone could have gone through that hole.
That was beautifully blocked. They were deploying to come to the outside. The contained man came up the field and really opened up the seam. You'll see here Kelton Dantzler comes up the field. He's blocked out by the fullback. And, of course, he steps inside of it. Roosevelt Smith, good yardage. And they're blocking well on this drive.
Smith, 53 yards on 6 carries. What an average.
Well, and he was supposed to be injured when he came into this ball game.
So now from the 38 of Ohio State, first down for Michigan. 7:26 remaining in the third quarter. Michigan 7, Ohio State 3. Lawrence Reed, the fullback, coming to the near side of the line, and Mark Sullivan there on early stop. It's inside the 35. Let's see where they spot it. Oh, there's the ball. Now it's across the 35 to the 34. It'll be second down and 6.
Let's take a look at Tom Cousineau, the great linebacker for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Flows with the play, avoids the blocker, and comes right in there and stops it cold.
Second down and 6 now for Michigan. That's Marsh this time going in motion. And Marsh pulls it in. Akron, Ohio's Doug Marsh, 6'3", 230 pounds, a junior.
Chris, this is what Rick Leach does beautifully. He sets it up with the run off tackle, the run off tackle. Then he comes back with the same action, and the linebackers come and react to the run, and he's got a run action pass. Here it is again. He fakes to the eye back, the same action he's been successful with a run, and he lays the ball right in there to Marsh, and they're down in there deep.
Leach now is 8 of 14 for 128 yards and 1 touchdown from the 21. Woolfolk is in the lineup now. Again, a tight end in the backfield. Johnson, 88. Carrying is Woolfolk, number 24. They started this drive at their own 31. Michigan, there's Doug Marsh, number 80, who was great against Notre Dame in a come-from-behind victory at South Bend early in the season. So for the maize and blue, they have now reached the Ohio State 19, and it's a second down and 8.
Excuse me, Chris.
All right.
Just saying, Doug Marsh is just a junior. He's going to be back next year. He's 6'3", 230, and Bo was telling me he's got tremendous speed.
Roosevelt Smith back in the lineup on a second and 8 for Michigan at the Ohio State 18.
Oh,
a defensive play by Skilling. He came up with a triple threat defensive play on Johnson, who had caught the pass near the 1, stripped the ball, made the tackle, and recovered the fumble in the end zone.
What a play by him. He saved another touchdown. Look at the time Leach has. Pumps the ball. Now he finally sees Clayton open over the middle, and look at this. He comes over and saves another score. Here's another view of it from the end zone. Leach is back to throw. Here's Marsh, number 80. Clayton crosses over right there, and look at that reaction. Just got there in time. That's 2 touchdowns he saved.
Rick Leach hoping for the Heisman Trophy. Only the second Michigan player to receive it. The other was the great Tom Harmon. Here's Leach. Third down and 8. Completes it to Reed. Reed is out of bounds inside the 10. It appears to be ahead of the forward stake as Bo Schembechler talks to his staff members upstairs, some 98 feet high above the playing field.
A great executed screen pass. The timing was just perfect. The blocks were set. Leach will come to his left, rolling out like he's going to throw the ball, turns back, throws the ball to the screen man, which is Lawrence Reed, and he picks up a first down at the 8.5-yard line.
From their own 31, they have now come to the 8 of Ohio State with a first and goal. Michigan leading 7-3, 5:43 remaining in the third quarter. Woolfolk, the deep back, in the eye. And Leach is inside the 5 to the 4. Luther Henson of Sandusky, Ohio, 54 on the stop. Second and goal.
I'll tell you, that Leach is really something. He does it all. He runs the football, he throws it, he gets down into the tough yardage, he picks it up. He's some kind of football player.
Smith is in the lineup now for Rick Leach and the Wolverines. Second and goal. 5:11 remaining in the third quarter. Michigan leading 7-3. A beautiful defensive play by Lenny Mills of Miami, a senior, number 20.
He fired the gap. They had Mills in there. He's a defensive secondary man, and he fired the seam, got penetration, They had a good call on. I'm talking about Rick Leach, an option play down there against the goal line defense. But Mills got penetration and never allowed him to execute it.
Ohio State's defense averaging on giving up 142 yards rushing and 166 passing.
Let's see whether or not Ohio State goes to man-to-man coverage and whether or not Leach comes up with a run-action pass. It's tough to stay with those Michigan receivers.
3rd and goal at the 6. Marker is down in the end zone. We have the official attendance now, 87,840 here. Maybe a delay. That's exactly what it is. Coach Bo Schembechler. What do you call now, Era?
Well, I'm going to go for the score if I can, and I'm sure that Leach will come back with a run-action pass or even a drop-back pass. It was interesting to note that the Buckeyes deployed in a goal line defense with man-to-man coverage, and Leach had a good pass on. The thing that's interesting here is Leach is getting more than enough time to pick up his receivers. Let's see what happens, whether or not Ohio State goes to a zone coverage or whether or not they try to stay with Clayton and company man on man.
Here they come now from the end zone here at Ohio Stadium in Columbus. 3rd down. The snap will come from the 11. 4:18 to go, 3rd quarter. Michigan leading 7-3. Leach. Touchdown, Roosevelt Smith.
What execution.
Perfection.
Woo.
And with a great trigger man, Rick Leach, his 2nd touchdown toss of the afternoon, just beautifully done. And Smith, the junior from Detroit, brings it in.
Really, he was not the principal receiver on the play. As Leach came out, he was trying to hunt up Clayton on when he had him one-on-one. He was covered, and he just dumped the ball off. It was an incredible piece of work by the quarterback.
Smith getting his 4th touchdown of the year. As Greg Wilner now will try the point after. 13-3 the score in the closing moments of the 3rd quarter. Wilner's kick is up and good. A 69-yard sustained drive by the Wolverines era, and it is now 14-3, or it should be.
The screen shows 13, but the extra point was good. It's 14-3. It was a great drive by Michigan. They ran, mixed up the plays well. Here's another look at it. Leach comes out. He's looking for Clayton here. He can't find him open. And you see that Roosevelt Smith just comes out to the outside. The man-to-man coverage is lost, who was supposed to be a linebacker. He lost him in this particular action because he thought Leach was trying to throw the ball to Clayton. So he reacts to that, and Roosevelt Smith is open and gets the score.
69 yards, the score coming on the 13th play. We'll be back after this.
The American family is constantly changing, and that can be rough on a TV. But not on Sears Sensor Touch TV. It changes channels with the touch of a finger. And right now, it's on sale. Save $70 on this table model, or $100 on these beautiful consoles, all with Sensor Touch and electronic tuning, with no moving parts to wear out. Save $70 to $100 now on Sears Sensor Touch color TVs.
Just in time for Christmas.
Imagine if someone invented a wonderful box and gave you a way to catch little pieces of your life so that you could see them again anytime by just dropping them into the box. Now, wouldn't that be something? Well, it is something. Polavision, Polaroids, instant movies. Seconds after you shoot, you've got it. And you'll still have it even when certain persons go off to college.
Football excitement like you're viewing today can be seen at 102 Division II and 204 Division III NCAA colleges. Attend the 1978 Division II Football Championship December 9th at Longview, Texas, and the Division III Championship December 2nd at Phoenix City, Alabama.
26 is Roosevelt Smith, who caught a Leach pass for Michigan's 2nd touchdown. Very elated, and there's the man that threw it, and his coach, Bo Schembechler. Here's the kickoff by Virgil as Calvin Murray gets it for Ohio State. 14-3 the score with 4 minutes and 7 seconds. And you know, usually the players have a great deal of joy following a score, but watch this man.
Well, Bo is quite an enthusiastic guy. You'll see he reacts to the touchdown. Look at him jumping up and down. His jump reach isn't as good as mine, Mel. He was a tackle at Miami. That was the back.
Well, I've seen you jump on the sideline,
Yeah,
but you're very calm up here in the booth.
That's right. I've jumped a few times. I'd jump too if I scored against Ohio State.
And very calm today is Woody Hayes as his team has the ball at the 22, 1st and 10. Schleister, number 10, the quarterback, looking into the sun, dumps it off to Jimmy Moore, Tempe, Arizona, the senior end, and Andy Canovina makes the stop.
I guess you can see that Woody Hayes has decided to depart this conservative attack because he comes right out deep in his own territory and starts throwing it, and Schleister hits Moore for about 8 yards.
What a future Schleister will have here at Ohio State. Only a freshman, 2nd and 3. Ron Springs couldn't find any running room and is stopped at the 26 for a 3-yard loss, bringing up 3rd and 6.
Too many Wolverines.
Let's go to Bill Fleming.
Yeah, just a quick word here. You know, Art Schleister's been having a little trouble with his right elbow, and it's becoming more tender. They've put a pad on it. It may be the reason, Chris, that he hasn't passed too much. And if we do see him throw, I think you're going to see the short ones. I don't know that he can go long with the elbow in the condition it's in.
Bill, did you get any kind of a report on perhaps an ankle injury? We've watched him. He doesn't appear to be favoring it.
No, he just lost his shoe. That was the only thing.
Okay. Look at that first-year man striving out near the forward post on a 3rd down, but it's going to bring up a 4th down, it appears, for OSU here with 2 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. So on comes the punter, number 19, Tom Orris.
Hey, he's a gutty little guy, that Schleister. He was hit pretty well there. He gets up. He wants to do well. He scrambled out of trouble and almost got the 1st down.
He may start on the Ohio State basketball team as a guard.
Isn't that unbelievable in this modern day?
4th down. Orris gets it off, and another beauty.
Woo.
Like Skladany. Kicks it long, and Jolly has it. And greeted by a crowd. So they'll have to snap the ball from about their own 22 now as they lead 14-3 with 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Let's take a break and then return.
From New York to Chicago, an evening with friends can be magic.
Beer makes it
What are you
good.
drinking?
There's no debate.
Show us a trick, Charlie.
Beer makes it good. Schlitz makes it great.
11 million times a day, America reaches for a Schlitz.
Since 1849, there's no debate. When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer. Schlitz makes it great.
Down in Texas, we have a saying. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. So when you see this little Black & Decker 5.5-inch circular saw in your store, don't be fooled. It's smaller and lighter than other saws, so you can handle it easily. But inside, it's pure teeth. The 5.5er from Black & Decker. Small, light, and very tough.
Here in the final 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter, Michigan's 3rd possession. The last time they had it, they went 69 yards as Leach throw his 2nd touchdown pass of the afternoon. Down from the 22 on a keeper. 1st down following another beautiful punt by Orris of Ohio State. Leach just moves his way, and Cousino was there.
Really don't know what Bo told him at halftime, but, in the 1st half, Michigan was having difficulty maintaining possession of the ball on the ground, and in this half, they've been very consistent, making yardage not only on 1st downs, but 2nd and 3rd downs on the ground.
Now we have a 2nd down and 3 for Rick Leach. NCAA record of 80 career touchdowns, either running or passing. And that's surpassing Choo-Choo Justice, Harry Gilmer, a lot of great quarterbacks over the years. As Russell Davis carried on the play on that 2nd and 3. He's short of the 1st down, so to bring up 3rd down. This program is being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports, the first part of a doubleheader. Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification.
This is WXYZ TV, Channel 7, Detroit.
There you see the yardage needed by the Michigan Wolverines, who lead 14-3 with 1 minute and 31 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down at about 2 from their own 30. The wishbone. And a determined freshman named Harold Woolfolk of Westfield, New Jersey, gets the first down.
Byron Cato got a lot of penetration. It looked like he was going to be stopped for a 2-yard loss, but the second back threw. He faked to the fullback and gave to the second back, Woolfolk, and he picked up the first down. Watch Cato get a lot of penetration. We might not be able to see it from this angle. There he is right there. Number 71 just missed him, and possession goes to Michigan with a first down.
So Nutter now will snap the ball to Leach from his own 36 on a first down play. Look at the stack in that backfield. Johnson moving and carrying is the freshman Woolfolk. Harlan Huckabee, the senior from Detroit, just sitting on the bench and watching his teammates try to get into the Rose Bowl for 3 years, for the third year in a row.
I think that's the only time that I've seen Woolfolk in this ball game where he did not hit the daylight. He had good daylight to the inside. He took the outside. I imagine that Huckabee would have liked to have that carry because it was well blocked.
Just had a shot at George Hill, the defensive coordinator for Woody Hayes of Ohio State, as Smith is in the lineup now. Second down and 8 from the 38 of Michigan. That's Johnson, 88, moving. The up back, 33, Davis, carried on a second down play. Perhaps got 2 yards to the 40. Cousineau, number 36. He just seemingly is everywhere, as he has been all these years, a senior from Fairview Park, Ohio. And with the sounding the crack of the gun, that means the third quarter has ended here at Ohio Stadium. The field drenched with sunshine now. Michigan leading 14-3, as we'll take this break and then return with the final quarter.
This is the life. You work and I play. I am money. You're money. And I'll never amount to anything.
An IDS representative can get tough with money. Put it to work with a personalized financial plan. We've done it for 80 years for business and for people just like you. IDS. We help people manage money.
We love baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
You sure are getting behind Chevy's new midsize Malibu, America. And why not? It's got the right mileage estimates, the right size, the right feel, the right look, and the right room. And for a lot of folks, it's got the right name, too. Chevy Malibu. The 79 Chevy Malibu could be just right for you.
A fresh new slice of apple pie called Chevy Malibu.
Sunday, a long-lost war hero fights Adama for control of Battlestar Galactica.
Come with us to the Thornapple Valley. Taste the pleasures that wait here for you. It's so near, come along to our valley. To the place where old times come back new.
Celebrate your next big dinner with a lean and juicy Thornapple Valley ham. We take the tender heart of the ham and slow smoke it over hickory embers so you get a lot of ham for your money from our valley.
So remember the Thornapple Valley, where that good old time taste still comes through.
All airlines fly at about the same speed, but poor service can make your flight seem longer. That's why at Eastern Airlines Flight Attendant School, we only want people who are interested in doing a job with the right attitude. Our trainees work at being helpful and friendly before they meet their first passenger. This attitude has helped us. For the second year in a row, we've flown almost 2 million more passengers than the year before. There are other airlines you can fly besides Eastern, so we have to earn our wings every day.
Weekend Action News with Larkin Page tonight at 11 on 7.
That's the Michigan band. Their team leading by a score of 14-3. Momentarily now we'll have the snap beginning the fourth quarter. It'll be 3rd and 6 for Michigan, now moving from left to right.
It's incredible. The Wolverines are staying right with their statistics, only giving 20 points in the second half. Ohio State was without a first down in that third period.
Rick Leach again finding the target, and this time junior Ralph Clayton of Detroit. Bob Murphy covering on the play. On his knees, number 22, Clayton making the catch. Leach has thrown 2 touchdowns today, one to Smith, the first one near the end of the first quarter, to Feaster.
You know, and Clayton is back again next year. He's a junior. People don't realize it. He doesn't look like it from this vantage point, but he's 6'3 and a half, 215, and has run a 4.440.
Now from the Ohio State 48, first down. That's Feaster in motion. Giving to 26, that is Roosevelt Smith, who caught the second touchdown pass from Leach. Gary Doolin of Madisonville, Kentucky, number 60, defensively for Ohio State. And Ohio State not scoring a touchdown in the last 11 quarters that they have played the Wolverines.
It's incredible. I also just witnessed something down there on that last play. Ohio State is starting to gamble. They went to man-to-man coverage and blitzed on the first down, trying to get the ball back. And that could, you know, that's the sort of thing that can backfire on you.
Now it's 2nd and 7 for Rick Leach from the OSU 45. And Russell Davis just angles his way to the left and brings a lot of players with him. Bringing up third down now as Powers made a neat block from his left guard position. He's number 67, 6'3", 254 pounds. And following our game will be the Prudential College scoreboard. Then to the Coliseum. Keith Jackson and Frank Broyles are out there for the Notre Dame Southern California game. So here it's a 3rd down and 1.
Ohio State needs to hold here and force Michigan to punt, because I think they're going to block one before the afternoon's out. They really need to hold here.
Michigan needing one. Very close. Davis getting the handoff from Leach.
Ohio State has been close all afternoon, rushing the punt. They just get the feeling up here that they're going to get the one before the afternoon's out.
And now the measurement. Michigan is in the lead, 14-3, and if you just joined us, the first scoring attempt was by Ohio State trying a 38-yard field goal. After marching 53 yards, they failed. Then Atha came back and kicked a 29-yarder as Michigan gets another first down here at Ohio Stadium. 1:13 to go in the first quarter, and with 9 seconds to go, capping a 70-yard drive, Rick Leach hit Feaster for a 30-yard touchdown. And now, in the third quarter, another touchdown pass. This one, Leach to Smith, a 6-yard. And in this, first downs in this half, Michigan has 10, Ohio State has 0. So from the 37, Michigan maintaining possession of the ball. Davis carrying again for about 2 yards. Number 15 in the scarlet jersey, that's Al Washington. He was helped by Luther Henson, number 54.
You know, I think it's a tribute to the Buckeye defense that they only gave 1 touchdown in this second half thus far, with the dominance of the Michigan offense.
And allowed no scoring in the second quarter.
They've been on the field out there the whole third period, the Buckeye defense.
2nd down and 8 now for Michigan and White from the 35. They lead 14-3. Leach drills one. He's quite a baseball player at the University of Michigan.
Looks like the nap in the artificial surface is worn down right in that area. That is not the first time that some of the players have slipped. Between the 20 and 30-yard lines, it looks pretty well worn. And Clayton slipped and fell there and did not have an opportunity to make the reception.
So the center fielder on the baseball team, number 7, Rick Leach, comes back to his huddle. And he has a 3rd down and 8 now, with 12 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the ball game. The 75th meeting between these interstate rivals in the Big Ten. There's Leach. Smith and Davis are the setbacks from the 35 of Ohio State. Out goes Clayton. Out goes Feaster. 4th down coming up.
Well, they flushed Leach that time, and he had to throw off balance. He had an open receiver, but they flushed him out of the pocket, and he had to throw on the move, and he could not get the accuracy that he wanted. You can see it here on ground level. Leach goes back in a straight drop-back pass. They flush him out to his left, coming towards you, and he throws off balance here, is not able to get the ball to the receiver.
Greg Wilner, who was a walk-on last year, became the number 1 kicker, will punt now for Bo Schembechler and the Wolverines on a 4th down and 8. The snap will come from Nauta at the 35 of the Bucks. My guess is in single safety at about the Ohio State 10. A little chip shot, at least for Jack Nicklaus, it would have been here at Columbus.
They saved it. They saved it.
Oh, they did.
Oh, they put them in a tough spot.
Alertly, Michigan has downed the ball. And is that punter happy?
Well, that ball took a very favorable Michigan bounce, and they saved it, and they have pinned Ohio State back on their 2-yard line.
So, with 11 minutes and 52 seconds left in the game, Ohio State will try to move it from their 1.
October 23rd, fire destroys 230 homes west of Los Angeles.
The fire came down like molten lava, rapidly pouring over the side of the hill. I live alone with my 2 children and have no one to depend on, but Allstate stood behind me. Within 4 hours after the fire, I had a check for extra living expenses in my hand.
You're in good hands with Allstate. That's a promise from the good hands people.
Allstate kept their promise to us.
Hey, Mr. Goodwrench, it's only hitting on 7. You better give me a complete tune-up.
Better let me check it out first. You don't want to pay for anything you don't need.
When you want your GM car fixed, see Mr. Goodwrench at your participating GM dealers. He cares.
All it needed was this little fuel filter element. A lot cheaper than a tune-up.
All right.
Keep that great GM feeling.
With Mr. Goodwrench.
My man.
And genuine GM parts.
Next, Rose Bowl bound number 3, USC battles 8th-ranked Notre Dame, heading for the Cotton Bowl. The top-ranked clash, USC-Notre Dame, is next.
Kick coverage for the kicking team. Spectacular here on the part of Michigan. Look where it is down.
Great piece of work by the Michigan team. They're well coached, well drilled. Every team works on that, and they pin Ohio State down deep.
Now Rod Gerald is the quarterback for Ohio State at the Ohio State 1. He moves from end to quarterback, where he played for 2 years. Ron Barwick takes his spot at the split end position. Kites and Simpkins put the stop on Rod Gerald of Dallas, Texas. There he is, the senior for Woody Hayes.
How'd you like to start a drive at your own 2-yard line? Rod Gerald goes into the most adverse conditions. I don't know whether Schleister cannot throw the ball. He appeared to go back a number of times, but let's see what Gerald done. He's got a tough problem here.
And the highly experienced Gerald hands off to Ricky Johnson of Santa Maria, California, junior, number 21, from the 3-yard on a 2nd and 8.
Chris,
Canavino on the stop at approximately the 6, so it's going to be 3rd and 5.
A year ago in this same football game, Gerald completed 11 out of 18 passes for 144 yards. He had a great game, and he's a dangerous scrambler, very much like Leach is when he's back and trapped. Let's see if he can get the first down of the second half.
I think it's the quickest feet I've ever seen on a quarterback, Rod
really
Gerald.
Is. Nope. Oh, that's tough to put a quarterback in and start working it out of that territory.
Right. Volley took the handoff. Canavino was in on the ball at approximately the 7. There is Art Schleister, the freshman. Rick Leach had a very tough game against Ohio State when he was a freshman at Michigan.
He lost.
So have heart, young man.
Right. He's a good one. I think he's going to have a great career at Ohio State. He's done a great job.
Horace to punt out of his own end zone. Connects at the goal line as Mike Jolly receives it at the Ohio State 43. Michigan in the lead, 14-3, with 10 minutes and 9 seconds left in the ball game.
Clemson can really move the football, and if things don't change in this ball game, they're going to have to face Ohio State.
They've been in the 34th annual, they will be in the 34th annual Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, December 29th. Colgate has taken the lead from Rutgers. So from the 43, Rick Leach hands off to Roosevelt Smith. They're in Ohio State territory. Luther Henson, along with Mark Sullivan, make the stop. And the loser of this game will be playing Clemson in the Gator Bowl, to be seen at 9 Eastern time right here on ABC, the 29th of December. George Olson, Nelson Harris, all the folks getting ready for that game, Clemson being the host.
I know Bo Schembechler, he's going to try to grind some time off that clock, try to possession that football. They're in 4-down area.
2nd and 5 for Michigan from the Ohio State 38, and Reed tries to grind it out, and they've been doing that here in the second half, especially with ball control And a little later, we'll be announcing the Chevrolet offensive and defensive players of the game.
It's interesting that both teams use the same defense and the defensive philosophy, and they have a tendency to defense the field, the wide side of the field. And you see the ball on the hash mark most of the afternoon, and you see the teams going to the short side of the field. There's only 17.5 yards over there, and they use it.
Clayton is flanked left, now in motion toward all of us on a 3rd and 2. And getting the first down is Roosevelt Smith.
It's close, Chris. Very close.
Well, that really is close.
It looked like he thrust forward, and I think you're right, but it's very, very close.
Smith now has 9 carries, 62 yards, and on a 3rd down play, the length of a football. Now we have 8 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the game. The Victors, that song being played by the Michigan band, going way back to the late 1800s, as do their colors, maize and blue, and the nickname Wolverines. All right, from the wishbone, first down, Rick Leach. Clayton getting the ball. He's a versatile football player, Clayton, the junior.
Had him lined up in the wishbone that time at the right halfback side. They fake to the fullback, give it to Clayton off the left side. He picks up 5 yards. Well, you got to understand, he's 215, 6'3.5". He's a real man.
And if you were still coaching, Ara,
yeah,
I know you'd be drooling even more at a back like that.
Well, I'm
hey, Vegas Ferguson ought to be great against Southern California this afternoon.
That's going to be a humdinger of a ball game.
Telecast right here on ABC, following this game on the Prudential College scoreboard. On a 2nd and 5 play, Michigan with the ball, Roosevelt Smith. He got a couple of yards on the play, and they were hard-earned because Cousineau and Mike Guess were there. Let's go down to Bill Fleming.
Yeah, it looks like Roosevelt Smith has got a cramp in that left leg, Chris, and it looks like they're going to have to come in and help him a little bit. I wanted to say a word about Bill Dufek, number 73, offensive tackle of Michigan. He's been kind of a hard-luck guy, broke his leg a year ago, chipped the bone in his foot, and was out 5 weeks this year. This is his final game. And I'll tell you this, he has been doing some kind of blocking in that offensive line, which I think has made the Wolverines go here in this second half of play. While they have a timeout here, let's pause for this message with the score 14-3 Michigan.
Kodak introduces the Colorburst 300 instant camera.
Hey, look!
The first Kodak instant camera with a built-in electronic flash.
Now we did it. Take it. No, you take it. No, you. Hi, Grandpa.
What are you kids doing up?
It was all her idea.
With irresistible color by Kodak. The Kodak Colorburst 300 instant camera with built-in flash says, open me first.
No doubt about it. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all.
The National Junior College Athletic Association offers to its membership 18 men's and 13 women's national championships. Thousands of young men and women will benefit from these sporting events. Support your local junior college.
Smith, who's had many injuries, is playing for the University of Michigan, is out of the lineup. Woolfolk replaces him, number 24. Now we have a 3rd and 3 for Rick Leach from the wishbone formation at the Ohio State 26. And a little mix-up, so wisely the field general calls time, goes to the far sideline. And today, on this holiday weekend, with Penn State going undefeated yesterday, a great season for Joe Paterno, and we congratulate them all, doing it over Pittsburgh. Well, it's a big weekend here because SC Notre Dame follows today, but next Friday night, NCAA college football from Austin, Texas. Texas A&M versus the Longhorns at a fiery Southwest Conference clash. Texas ranked number 9, Sun Bowl bound. Texas A&M bound for the Hall of Fame game against Iowa State. Then on Saturday, a doubleheader. Georgia Tech versus Georgia, 12:30 Eastern time. And at 4 Eastern, Army-Navy, a fierce and old rivalry, the service schools.
Yeah, they always get after one another. It's a traditional battle. They fill up that stadium, and it's going to be another humdinger next Saturday.
So now, things apparently are straightened out. Rick Leach, still it's a wishbone formation in the backfield. Split to the left. We have Feaster, Rodney Feaster, who caught the first touchdown pass from Leach. Smith caught the other. 14-3, Michigan leading. And here's Leach looking at Feaster, who's going deep. Feaster is out of the end zone. So it'll be a 4th down and 3. Mike Guess covering for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Rick Leach, his final regular season game, along with 6 other seniors earning their 4th football letters. Huckleby, Davis, Gene Johnson, Smurge, and Bill Dufek. And on the field to try a field goal, the spot is a 33, so it's a 43-yard attempt by Greg Wilner of the University of Michigan. Holding B.J. Dickey, number 10.
No.
No good. So the line of scrimmage was the 26, and that's where the ball will be snapped this year in college football. It's outside the 20. The spot is whatever it is. So 14-3, the score remains, and we have 7 minutes and 16 seconds to go.
Kathy, what are you doing in the dark?
Waiting for Santa.
Ho, ho, ho.
I wonder what he'll bring me.
Well, have you been a good little girl?
Person. Good little person.
Hey, person. Merry Christmas.
Oh,
Make a dream come true this Christmas from Christmas Dreams Diamond Collection 79.
The Goodyear Tiempo is the all-season radio proved last year. Goodyear's Tiempo was a steel-belted snow tire for Cheryl Barnes.
My Tiempo's really gripped in the snow and helped me get through it.
Goodyear's Tiempo was a rain tire for Bobby Graham.
My Tiempos made a real big difference in driving in last year's rain.
Tiempo is the rain tire, snow tire, sun tire, the one tire that does it all. Goodyear's Tiempo, one tire you can drive with confidence all year.
Rod Gerald, quarterbacks, Ohio State. A missed field goal. The snap comes from the 26. 1st and 10. And Gerald couldn't find a man open. He wanted to throw a quickie over the right side, but Curtis Greer was there to sort of hem him in. And he hardly gets back to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be a 2nd down and 10. And defensively now, the Wolverines. You see number 40 calling the signals, Ron Simpkins, co-captain of the Wolverines. Correction, Meter and Davis are the co-captains. Simpkins, the leading tackler today, 5 solos and 8 assists. Gerald. Joe Robinson, the right tackle from Paulding, Ohio, may have moved a little early era. Let's go to Bill Fleming.
Maybe the fans are wondering why Schleister is not in the lineup right now. I just checked with the Ohio State trainers. He's okay. It's just that Woody wanted to get Gerald in the lineup. Gerald, of course, is a very dangerous player. But I think Era would admit one thing, and that is when you put a new quarterback in there, it means that the timing is a little bit different. And maybe that's what's kind of snarling things up. The Buckeyes have not been too sharp here with Gerald in there.
True, but he had tough field position, and he's still dangerous back there, as you pointed out, Bill. He can scramble.
2nd down and 15 from their own 21. He's got to scramble. And quick feet goes out of bounds on the far side of the field. Mike Jolly and Curtis Greer were on the chase. Let's see where he departed from the field. About just across the 26, the original line of scrimmage before the penalty. 69 coming into the lineup. That's Ernie Andrea, the messenger from Coach Woody Hayes. So with the ball at the 26, it's a 3rd down and 10. Woody watching along with you with about 6.5 minutes to go in the game. Gerald completes one. Ron Springs pulls in a Rod Jarrell pass, and Curtis Greer makes the stop.
Well, if they got any kind of special plays, this would be the time to pull them out, because if they punt the ball now to Michigan, Michigan's going to grind some more time off of that clock, and the opportunities for the Buckeyes are dwindling.
So now it's 4th down and 5. Jarrell comes to the sideline. The punter, Tom Orris, is in. And the second guesser's in the crowd.
Well, it's a lot of time left, 5:59. You know, you could fumble back here. No, you got to punt the football here, Chris. No question about it. There it is. Uh-oh. They tried this fancy one. Well, tried it, and it didn't work.
Joel Payton, the sophomore. Well, if things go bad, they go really bad.
Well, as far as taking a play and running it there, I'm not so sure that would be a favorable thing to do. A punt was not a bad call, but so was the gamble there, as I pointed out. If you got anything in the bag, use it then, because old Ben is against you. Grinding down.
1st and 10 now. B.J. Dickey is the quarterback for the Wolverines. From Octavia, Ohio, playing for Michigan, a sophomore, 5'11 and a half, and 188 pounds. A smoke bomb came down on the field. And you know, in this intense rivalry, the newspapers here in Columbus were asking the fans to be football fans and not fanatics. There's a fake punt.
You see, they snapped it to the short man, hopeful of getting the first down. But you can see that Michigan was deployed well to stop it. And, of course, they have taken the ball over at the 31-yard line.
So B.J. Dickey quarterbacking, relieving the great Rick Leach, who's had a tremendous afternoon. Lawrence Reed gets the handoff from Dickey. Tom Cousineau in on the tackle.
I know how Bo feels too, Chris. When Rick Leach is gone, he's had him for 4 years. I know, taking a look at Dickey. Dickey is just a junior, and he'll be back, or sophomore rather. He's back next year, but when you got a great player like that for all the years, why, you're going to miss him. Of course, he's got one more game in the Rose Bowl if nothing changes the outcome of this game between now and 5 minutes and 17 seconds.
Clayton, Reed, and Woolfolk are set in the wishbone on a 2nd down and 6. And the third man through takes it, Woolfolk. And Lenny Mills defensively at about the 24, bringing up 3rd down and 3. So now both teams have used 2 quarterbacks. Schleister started for Ohio State. Rod Jarrell came in. Leach was brilliant. B.J. Dickey, as we indicated, has taken his place, and he's in there, number 10, calling signals now on a 3rd down and about 4. Oh, and ridden down by number 71, Brian Cato, another of the Ohio State seniors. He's from Lorain, Ohio. Here's Leach from Flint, Michigan. So, Era, 4 minutes and 14 seconds left in the game. It is 14-3. And with the ball at the 26, we have a 4th down and 5.
Let's see where they go. They're not going to go for the field goal. They're going to turn the ball over to them deep in their own territory if they can.
And they go to the I. With a flanker to the right, Feaster. Split to the left. Dickey, the quarterback. So Ohio State will get the ball on downs. Joe Hornick of North Olmsted, Ohio, a Cleveland suburb, is in on Woolfolk to stop the drive. We have 3 minutes and 44 seconds left in this rivalry, the 75th one. 14-3 Michigan.
This is it, America, the new Chevrolet.
America, if you're looking for a truly beautiful full-size car with more rear seat legroom,
This is it.
more headroom,
This is it.
and more trunk room.
This is it.
New Chevrolet, bought and embraced by more than 1 million people in its first 2 years. 79 Caprice and Impala, the new generation car America has driven to the top.
This is it, America, the new Chevrolet.
We met at 9.
We met at 8.
I was on time.
No, you were late.
Yes, I remember when.
The Xerox display typing system lets you create and revise information right on a screen before it's committed to paper, and will remember it all, even if you don't.
Yes, I remember it well.
Next, Rose Bowl bound number 3, USC battles 8th-ranked Notre Dame, heading for the Cotton Bowl. The top-ranked clash, USC Notre Dame, is next.
Visually, there's the information. We're in the fourth quarter, 3:44 left, and Schleister has come back in the lineup and completes the pass to the quarterback he replaced, Rod Gerald. So across the field at the 48, first down, Ohio State.
Big play. Came right back with Schleister, and it doesn't appear to be anything wrong with his arm, even though he has that elbow padded up. He runs a lot of option plays. He comes right straight back into the pocket, looking over his left shoulder, finds Gerald in the seam to the inside. No underneath coverage here, and he puts it right on the mark. Here we go.
3 potential receivers to the near side of the field. A lone setback. Schleister looks. Number 22 was the short man, Rick Volley, and a pretty good rush was put on with not too effective pass blocking, so it's going to be a 2nd down and 10 for this freshman from Bloomingburg, Ohio, about 35 miles southwest of Columbus. Curtis Greer was one of them.
Schleister's now 3 for 6, Chris, but he's gone back a number of times in pass attempts where he's been forced to run, and has made some yardage when he has done so. He'll put it up now.
Gerald to the near side of the field.
Uh-oh.
Oh, intercepted. Stepping in between was number 16, Mike Jolly, intended for Gerald, number 8, and Jolly comes in and intercepts Schleister. It's his 20th interception of the year, and Michigan now, as we look to the clock, 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go. They take over on an interception at their own 48.
Chris, he shouldn't feel too badly. No other team has been able to really penetrate this great Michigan defense with the exception of the Michigan State Spartans. And, of course, they've been just bombing everybody for the last 6 or 7 games.
On an NCAA probation, consequently, no opportunity to go to the Rose Bowl, but the winner of this game will. From the 48, we have Dickey at quarterback for Michigan. Well, that ball really took off, and we have a flag thrown in the area of number 16, who put the rush on the quarterback. That is Paul Ross. Let's see what it'll be.
Yeah, I think he called roughing of the passer. I could not see. I was watching the ball go downfield.
It looked like it, Arrow.
Dickey really overthrew the ball, but he got rid of the ball before Ross hit him.
And as I recall, that's the first 15-yard penalty of the ball game. We've had a lot of 5s. Well, not that many. There it is, the signal by Otho Kortz, the referee. That's Mike Jolly, who intercepted the pass.
That's
the man
his
who
third.
caused the infraction was number 16, Ross, in the scarlet jersey.
That was Jolly's 3rd interception. Looks like the Wolverines will be going to the Rose Bowl. They've played a fine football game. They can bleed some time off that clock.
So from the 37, Dickey is nailed by number 60, Gary Doolin.
You wonder whether or not you're looking at Rick Leach's replacement for next year. Everybody will be looking with great interest as to who will replace him. And Dickey is just a sophomore, 5'11 and a half, 188. This year, thus far, he had run the ball 30 times for 159 yards, a 5.3 average. That completed 8 out of 18 for 44%. So we may be seeing the future Michigan quarterback.
And a sophomore, Alan Mitchell, number 30, is in at flanker to the near side on a 2nd and 11. Handoff to Reed. He brings the ball to the Ohio State 35, where it'll now be a 3rd down and 8. Doolin again on the tackle. Penalties today, 2 for 10 yards against Michigan. For Ohio State, 5 for 35 yards. The last time OSU lost 3 straight to Michigan was 46, 47, and 48.
That's a few years ago.
Few moons. So now from the eye, 3rd and 8. 54 was right on Woolfolk. And that's Luther Henson of Sandusky, Ohio. So that's going to bring up a 4th down, Era.
I think the Buckeyes have played a good defensive football game. The biggest problem in the second half has definitely been the inability of the Buckeye offense to move it. And as a result, of course, the defense was put under an enormous amount of pressure.
And if our viewers stay with us here on ABC, they can get a look at what appears to be Michigan's, or rather Southern Cal's opponent, the University of Michigan, as we still have 1:13 to go. So they can make a comparison of just how they'll stack up.
Terrific doubleheader day for all the college football fans in the entire nation.
How about next week, Friday night, Texas A&M. Then Georgia Tech on Saturday, followed by traditional Army, Navy. How about the Chevrolet defensive player of the game, Era?
Well, Chris, both Cousino and Simpkins played outstanding games at linebacker, but I think Vince Skillings, who saved 2 touchdowns for the Buckeyes, to my mind, is the defensive Chevrolet Award winner of the player of the game. I thought he did a tremendous job.
Michigan's punter, Greg Wilner, will do the booting. Guess is back. It's 4th down. Good rush, and Guess just hopes that it...
No,
it didn't do what he was hoping for. And again, Michigan now has nailed the OSU offense inside the 10. Woolfolk covered the ball for the Wolverines, and there's the punter. Wilner coming to the near sideline. He's a native of Miami Beach, Florida, education major, and the Ohio State bench.
Chris, Tom Cousino, 2-time All-American, really a great football player, had over 20 tackles this afternoon. And, of course, his counterpart with the Michigan Wolverines, Ron Simpkins, had about 14 or 15 involvements. Both of them are great players, and certainly they held their defenses together.
Schleister, quarterback from Ohio State, from his own 5, has to carry the ball. Gains 3 yards on the play, and Needham, number 83 of Groveport, Ohio, was in on the stop. Bill Miles on the telephone. Woody looking to him. Woody Hayes, colorful and patient, unpredictable. He hasn't been that way today. So getting that pass was Chuck Hunter, number 89 of Newark, Delaware, a junior. Greg Bell makes the stop, and now we have a 3rd down and 1 for OSU. The score is 14-3, and we are really running down the clock now. 47 seconds to go, and Ohio State couldn't get going because Jim Humphreys was in on freshman Art Schleister. And with the ball at the 12, it is a 4th down, and Schleister gets a taste of a 4th down play at about his own 11. Look out. Intended for number 22, looked like Rick Volley on the far side of the field, and the rush was put on by senior Curtis Greer, number 95. Arrow, the offensive player in the Chevrolet Scholarship.
Well, I think by unanimous agreement with Bill Fleming and you, Chris, and I don't think we can do anything but Rick Leach. He's the guy. He did a tremendous job, poised, experienced, seasoned, one of the greatest football players I think probably college football has seen because of the poise that he's demonstrated. He was 11 for 21 for 171 yards out here this afternoon, 2 touchdowns, and that's what's on the board right now. And it appears that Michigan will win this football game 14-3. I'll tell you this, Rick Leach had a lot to do with it.
So B.J. Dickey just trying to run out the clock, and Rick Leach with the 2 touchdown passes today, the 14 points on the board. Ohio State with a 29-yard field goal by Atha. They took the lead, but that was it. In the 75th meeting between these 2 schools, and Bo Schembechler has taken the measure of Woody Hayes 3 years in a row, and Michigan now will try to beat a Pac-10 team where they've had trouble with them, Mara.
Well, they go to the West Coast. They've had their difficulties, but I'm sure that's the least thing that Bo Schembechler is worrying about right now. As you see him being carried off the field, he's delighted with the 3rd consecutive victory over the Buckeyes. That will take him to the Rose Bowl, and he has the Big Ten championship in addition.
Now, he's won 8 Big Ten championships. He'll be playing in the 5th Rose Bowl. They've already played in 1 Orange Bowl, so, you know, for really a young man, he's had a super career.
Well, I've got to say, Chris, he learned a lot when he was on my staff.
I realize that.
Oh, he's excited, isn't he?
Of course, he played for Woody Hayes at Miami of Ohio era, your alma mater.
Right,
And
great school.
then he came here to get his master, and he coached for Woody, and then you had him at Northwestern.
That's right. He was an offensive line coach at Northwestern. He's had a great background, and I'll tell you, when you look at his record, he's one of the, without question, one of the top college football coaches in the country, and he's demonstrated it
So
once again
the
today.
Victors in the background, that traditional song written way back in the late 1800s for the University of Michigan at Ann Arbor. Final score, 14-3 before 87,000 fans.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser. The people who bring you Budweiser wish you and yours a happy and safe holiday season.
I've been thinking about the market lately.
My broker says now's a good time to look into tax-free income. What's your broker say?
Well, my broker's E.F. Hutton, and E.F. Hutton says...
When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
When you take off on a Trans-International Airlines charter flight, you're taking off with us.
When you go to see a United Artists movie, you're going to the movies with us.
When you come to budget to rent a car, you're coming to us.
We're Transamerica, the people in the pyramid. We serve you through many different companies, but we stand for just one thing: first-rate service at a fair price. From every Transamerica company, every time.
A guy I know tells me this Sunbeam adjustable groomer razor is the greatest shaver ever made. Well, I say, so what? I'm a blade man. He says, try it and you won't be. He's right.
Here's how Sunbeam's groomer razor works. 12 stainless steel blades cut at 8,000 strokes a minute through the thinnest shaving head you can get. Stands whiskers up and shears them off, at or below the skin line.
You a blade guy? Try this.
Buy the groomer. Get an electric clock free. Details at participating dealers.
Well, here I am with Rick Leach and a crush of people at the Ohio Stadium. Rick, a lot of men have ended their careers here at Ohio State for Michigan. I remember Harmon here back 38 years ago, but I'll tell you, nobody ever ended a career more gloriously than you did.
Thank you very much. Hey, man. Hey, quit pushing. Hey, thank you very much. It was a great victory for our Michigan team. We've won 3 in a row from Ohio State. 2 of them have been down here, and it's the greatest feeling in the world.
All right. Thanks a lot, Rick. As you can see, it's a far cry from what it was when Rick was a freshman here 4 years ago. All right, back to you, Chris.
All right, 14-3, the final score. NCAA football, Michigan at Ohio State, has been brought to you by the investment firm of E.F. Hutton and Company. When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. By the folks at Chevrolet, who invite you to come on in to your Chevy dealers coast to coast for a look at an all-star lineup of cars. By Eastman Kodak Company, whose fine cameras and photographic products help you save all your good times in pictures. Kodak gifts say, open me first, to save Christmas in pictures. And by Mr. Goodwrench and the General Motors Parts Division. Keep that great GM feeling with genuine GM parts. Thanks to a nifty crew here at Ohio Stadium, at ABC Sports Crew, our executive producer, Rune Arledge, and our director, Jim Jeanette, our producer, Rick LaCivita, technical director, Werner Gunther, associate director, Patty Tuitt, and Pete Engelhardt as well, and our spotter, Bill Friel, and Rick Bernstein, our statistician. So, now, for Bill Fleming on the sideline, who did a great job in U2 era, this is Chris Schenkel saying so long with Notre Dame and SC coming up next. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United built the largest airline in the free world around you.
Michigan Replay.